This is the thing that. Alright, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We are live on our what? We don't talk about no connection. How about this? Jesus fix it. What is going on? What does that all about? Anyway, welcome TikTok. Welcome YouTube on Bolo VNR Clips and Bolo VNR 2.0. TikTok, we don't see what going on the screen, and that today I have to talk about and some more obviously. But that's the main topic. We're going to talk about the Jamaican economy. Today, we're going to talk about the potential of just total disaster, to be frank, to be honest. You know, we're not going to beat around the bush around it. Total disaster. Economically and otherwise. Well, once the economy goes, you know, other things follow. We already... No, you know, let me wait until the people come in. Let me just play this real quick. Turn on that something here. Michelle, what's up? Jennifer, Vinette, how you guys doing? Well, you come in and you can say hi, you know, man. I remember say the aim is 50,000 likes. And of course, I'm going to definitely need each and every one of your help with that. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, October 1st. 1 month ago, we are officially 1 month, almost 1 month from election. Pretty much 1 month. I know 28 days are 1 month, 4 weeks. And so much has happened already. We have gotten what them call economic shocks. Simple rainfall, you know, very simple rainfall that has caused infrastructural damage all around Kingston. Good afternoon, Gaza Security, how you doing? You wanna wonder what to me all morning? You know, it's really heartwarming to know that you guys are looking out to see me go live. The ones that look forward to see me go live. I am very humbled. I am extremely humbled by that reality. You know, but sometimes you have to rest here, man. I had videos, that's why I'm telling you, say, you must follow me my YouTube, because I have videos that I posted this morning. Alright? Follow me on YouTube, man. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. I had videos that I posted this morning. Very important information. And you know what? It's a very short video, so I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go over it and discuss it first. It's a very short video. It's a 4-minute video that I posted, and you know, I'm going to go. I think I posted it on my TikTok as well. You guys, it's on my TikTok, guys. You can check it out. But for those that are live right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that and discuss that. Right? I just, you know, this government, these people, what go on Anna Ramsey? Anna Ramsey, I only person call me president, you know. I only person call me president, you know. Big up Anna Ramsey, you know. Whoa, Anna Ramsey, what's up? How you doing? How's the family? How's everybody? Alright, so hope everybody good, you know. I hear that some pastor or somebody I call up my name in regards to Pastor Peter Chambers. You know, I don't know what's the motive of these people. And I don't know if they have come out and spoke against Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness should be these churches' focus that is pushing. Andrew Holness should be these persons' focus that is pushing people and start them send me somebody send some type of Bev. What are you talking about, Bev? I don't know, maybe he's resting. Remember, say, the other day, Andre did have him party and rain catch him, and when you see when he come on, him did, you know, him did horse up on him something. There. Probably him just sick, and him a recover, and him a get some well-needed rest. And you guys supposed to have his number, so you can reach out to him. But I figure Andre is getting some well-needed rest. And I rightfully so. You understand? The man work hard, brother. Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. He probably is getting some well-needed rest. And usually when he does not come on, he gives. I was surprised about that, but then I thought about it and I said, yeah man, he probably needs some rest, man. What's up, Donna? How you doing? Yeah man, he needs some rest, man. The man needs some rest, man. Man needs some time for himself too, man. Him do a show in the morning, him do a show in the evening, and him do a show midday. Do you guys know that? I don't know if you guys understand how much time we as content creators really dedicate to this, you know. It's like when I get no time for myself. And he was on this morning. So, you know, I must have explained why he was, because yes, I saw the notification come in. But I myself was very tired and I was sleeping. And I went right back to bed. I fell asleep early last night. Early. Not usually the time when I go to bed. I usually go to bed 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I slept and woke up 3 in the morning. Went to the bathroom, and I immediately went to sleep again. I've been sleeping, I've been resting, you know. I still did a look at something, man, to make sure that the video was set for a certain time. I woke up, that video went, and so I set another video that I had prepared, you know. But I really went to my bed early last night. Yeah, I know. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's get into it. First and foremost. Yeah, I can play from this.
Technically, it's really new because it was passed November 20th, almost 3 years. Onion measures which are contained there. The new Firearms Act, which technically isn't really new because it was passed November coming, will be almost 3 years.
So, Zulika just put out a statement. It came on National Nonsense Network, I believe. And she's talking about the new Firearms Act. She labeled it as draconian. Alright? Let us look up what draconian means. For you hear that the word you know says not good. It's not a positive. Yes? You can use your common sense to deduce that that's the situation. Yes, lack of sleep. Tamara, how are you doing? Tamara Jarrett, how are you doing? Lack of sleep is definitely a problem in our society. It's a very, very serious problem. And I am definitely one of them that lack a lot of sleep. When I start doing something, I fight sleep. I'm a person that fights sleep. But anyway, draconian means excessively harsh and severe. The Nazis destroyed the independence of the press by a series of draconian laws. So this law, this new law by, well, it's not really new, like you said, it's 3 years. This law by Andrew Holness is labeled draconian by Zulika Jess. And since I've told you what it means, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand the meaning, that it's excessively harsh and severe. You understand? And the sentence is the Nazis destroyed the independence of the press. I believe that this government is looking to destroy the independence of the press. TikTok, may I go end the live and start back here? Because them flag the live. May I end the live and start back? TikTok. You specifically, I'm ending the TikTok live and I'm starting back. Because them attack this particular live stream. I don't understand. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I'm going to end the TikTok live and start it back. Alright? So, this law by Andrew Holness government is labeled as draconian. Was it harsh? Was it harsh of Zuleika just to describe this law as such? Let's listen more to see why she said it's draconian.
Also, the draconian measures which are contained therein, whereby persons who have been found in possession of a toy gun face mandatory minimum sentences of 15 years, meaning that the judge has no discretion. So, for example, if a father...
So, if you are found with a toy gun, maybe a child, the parents will be locked up for a mandatory sentence of 15 years. The judge has no say. There's no using the judge's, there's no judgment. There's no the judge looking at it and looking at the circumstances, and there's just a blatant, harsh, excessive, severe sentence for a fake or toy gun. I used to, when I was young, we used to make guns out of board. I am not a gunman. I've never fired a weapon. You understand? A real weapon. I've never fired a real weapon. We used to play. Alright. I'm gonna show you how ridiculous this is. Do you know that there's paint guns where you go to these places and you have these tactical, with the paint guns, it's a game. And if you get hit with the paint, you lose. And the other team wins. You're immediately down. Like, there's a team of people. And so we are at the point where this is definitely draconian in my opinion. And I definitely agree with the intelligent, beautiful, and talented lawyer, MP, right? For the People's National Party, Zuleika Jess. Some people used to play police and soldier when they were young. So this is definitely an excessive law where one, you is a toy gun them say no. If you get caught with a toy gun, you are going to get arrested. That's the first thing. Secondly, you won't need to go in front of a judge because the state is taking responsibility for judgment. So the state has become judge, jury, and executioner in some instances. I'm telling you, this government, the Jamaica Labour Party, is they are putting all the pieces together to turn Jamaica into a undemocratic state. What is the opposite of undemocratic? Or what is the opposite of democratic? What's up, what's up, Cutting Edge? What is the opposite of democratic? Jamaica, do you want Jamaica to turn into China? And all these other countries that are not democratic? Now, somebody can argue, say, well, really and truly, democratic states are an illusion. We can have that conversation. And, I'm not biased. We can have a fair conversation where that is concerned. There's a lot of democratic states that say they're democratic, but they use undemocratic means, like violation of privacy, tapping into everybody's conversation, digging into their privacy. Yes. And trying to have some level of control. However, the laws in that country does not facilitate them doing so. So if the government is found to be doing that, they can be sued, compensation and otherwise, and they would have no legs to stand on. You understand? In most instances. Yes? But this is very serious. Listen to this.
Or a parent buys a toy gun with mandatory minimum sentences of 15 years, meaning that the judge has no discretion. So, for example, if a father or a parent buys a toy gun for a child who is going to be participating as a police carrier day at their school, and that parent is found by the police in possession of that gun. Let's say he's driving home to take the toy gun to his child. He can be charged under the new act, and once he is found guilty, he will be automatically sentenced to a minimum of 15 years.
So only hear that. So she just gave now F1, press F1 on TikTok. They will fight it live again. She just stated if a father buys a gun, a toy gun, you have water gun, you have toy gun. If a father buys a toy gun for their child, thank you, Junior. If the father buys a toy gun for their child in Jamaica under this Firearms Act, right? Let me take this off my screen because I don't know if this is money I problem. Mr. My food. I don't know if I my problem. I don't know. I have some family where some big name where they don't like for them thing out there, you know. You understand? I don't know. So let me take him off of the screen. Anyway. But they're gonna put him up back still. Anyway. So a father could buy a toy gun for his child under this new Firearms Act. Well, it's 3 years ago, but those of you it's new to you, it's new to you. That's what I'm saying, you know, Tia. I said that, you know, why sell water gun? Why import them into the country? Why? If guns is the problem, can we be like England and the police them don't use no gun? And we first get rid of all of the gun them in Jamaica, you know, from all of the gangs them and everybody. Can we just disarm the FLA and just sell all the guns overseas and not have any guns in our community? Since as you really want to have this, yeah, can we do that? I bet you a lot of persons is gonna oppose to that because some of them love having them gun. You understand? A lot of them love having them gun. They like to firearm, all of them, they like having them gun. Some of them, you know, them have ego issues. Without them gun, they are not the same person. They don't move in the communities and in the streets the same way. You understand? And to be fair to them, you know, they really should be incognito because it's called a sealed weapon. Nobody not supposed to know say have a licensed firearm. If they do, then you're not doing a very good job. It is said the only time they should see your weapon, or if you pull it, it means that your life is in danger and you're supposed to put the individual or the animal down that is attacking you. Period. But back to the fake gun. You carry one gun for your son, a toy gun for your son, and police catch you with it and a stop, and you're gone to jail, you know, in Jamaica, you know, the way the law set up, you know. And not only are you going to jail, if you are found guilty by the judge, based off the law, the judge is not going to sentence you. The act already sentenced you. All the judge have to do is find you guilty. I think that's pretty draconian. Yeah, I think that's
The new
cool.
Firearms Act, which technically isn't really new because it was passed November coming will be almost 3 years. But the draconian measures which are contained therein, whereby persons who have been found in possession of a toy gun face mandatory minimum sentences of 15 years, meaning that the judge has no discretion. So, for example, if a father or a parent buys a toy gun for a child who is going to be participating as a police at Carrier Day at their school, and that parent is found by the police in possession of that gun. Let's say he's driving home to take the toy gun to the child. He can be charged under the new act, and once he is found guilty, sentenced to a minimum of 15 years. The act does not allow you. He can be charged under the new act, and once he is found guilty, he will be automatically sentenced to a minimum of 15 years. The act does not allow for any provision for leniency based on the circumstances of the case. And so,
you hear that? The act does not allow any provisions for leniency. CP3, what's up? The new Firearms Act in Jamaica, Rose, what's up, Rose, does not allow for leniency.
Automatically sentenced to a minimum of 15 years. The act does not allow for any provision for leniency based on the circumstances of the case. And so what happens is that you will very well find that innocent people will be made criminals by virtue of the harsh and the draconian nature of the act.
Innocent people will become criminals. No, it's not a joke, Shiny Eyes. And this is why I'm playing it, because a lot of people are not aware. I posted it on my TikTok. I posted it on both of my YouTube channels. Zulika just exposes Andrew Holness and the JLP. Alright? This is not a joke. A toy gun. And I think, I'm not certain, but I believe based off videos I've watched from Sulfur. Sulfur is in court for such case, you know? Sulfur is in court, I believe, for a similar case. I believe he was doing a skit and he had a toy gun, and that's why he mobbed this court case. Somebody said he's making these new laws and he shall fall into this very pit he has dug. You know what I find funny though, Rose, and viewers and subscribers, supporters and well-wishers? You know what I find funny? Last summer you doing, my darling? Why, Chinese Eyes, you ask some very good question, you know. You ask some very good question, you know. First time seeing you in the chat. Welcome. You ask some very good question. But what I find funny is this. He has these laws, these harsh laws, in aid of, in essence, his excuses. We have to fight the gangs. We have to fight the homicide and the crime rate. So we have to do it this way. Well, I don't think we can understate how corruption in government facilitates crime in Jamaica. But I don't see Andrew Holness and his government pushing for harsh sentence for politicians that are found guilty of treason. What is treason? Treason is taking our tax dollars and enriching themselves. Treason is taking our tax dollars, paying for used police cars, and we have not gotten any police cars. Treason is robbing the educational system of billions of dollars. The educational system that is supposed to facilitate the education of our children, our future, that is treason. I have not seen them make any laws or propose to make any laws that deal with the criminals in Parliament harshly. As a matter of fact, what I've seen is the absolute reverse. I have seen the absolute reverse, ladies and gentlemen, right? I have seen this government sue, not the government, Andrew Holness, sue the Integrity Commission. Try to remove that part of the act that deals with illicit enrichment. I have seen them make arguments that would suggest that they want to defund and not give the Integrity Commission the type of money they need to strengthen the anti-corruption law. And I'll take it further. They have suggested in their proposal for constitutional reform that impeachment be removed. So no politician can go to jail for these crimes against us, the citizens of Jamaica. So on one end, they should not be judged. But on the other end, everybody else, excluding the wealthy, should be judged harshly. This is the modus operandi of the Jamaica Labour Party. Yes. This is the modus operandi of the Jamaica Labour Party. It's okay. A toy gun, 15 years, Radam. This is Andrew Holness Radam vibes. Jamaica, you know, I say it, but maybe you guys think it's a joke. We're in trouble, you know. We everywhere we turn, Maka joke us with this government. Everywhere. Do you guys hear that now? Them is going to put police in every community. Police in every community, you know. Walking around. Now, if it was another government doing that, I would, you know, I would say their intentions was right. But this government, where police are walking at people's yard, and I go in at their house, and I live them pitney, and I tell we say, the pitney run past 23 police after they don't have him in a custody already, you know. The pitney run past 23 police and go for gun in a corner, in a towel or laundry, if try to shoot them. So then they have to execute him. You see, if I never diss a government here, I propose that, I would feel like their intention was right. But not this government. Not this government. Somebody joked and said, I don't joke, somebody said something about the licensing, said you're not going to be able to grow chicken in your yard. But Jamaica, some of you is going to listen to this and say, one of those are exaggerate until the so-called exaggeration becomes reality. You never believe Andrew Holness and his government could be so wicked until them show you them wickedness. Isn't this wickedness? 15 years, Lorraine. 15 years for a toy gun. 15 years. You know, I'm going to leave it right there. 15 years. Mandatory. No negotiation. The judge can't do nothing. The only thing the judge can do is say, you are guilty or you are not guilty. That is it. And the law is very clear. So it's going to be very hard for the judge to say that the individual is not guilty. Guys, remember to hit the like button, please. Thank you. On TikTok, on YouTube, please. Remember to like up the video and share up the video. Alright? Donna, may I tell you, we used to use board gun It used to be like an art to make them thing there. You know what I mean? It was never to be violent or my intention in my, no. Right? Blessings, blessings. If them have such a problem with guns, remove the guns from the police them. After you clean up Jamaica with all of the guns and stop. Secure our shores. How about that? How about the government secure our shores? You know, talking about secure our shores. If I know what you're doing, where you say fly green and push it, people are going to vote them back in, you know? Yeah, you want them to vote them back in? I hope that the 400,000 people will vote for the JLP. I hope that you guys are the first to feel the brunt of the wickedness of this government. I mean, now I take it back. I hope that you deserve to feel the full benefits of this government before anybody else, good or bad. Only deserve it. I hope that you guys get exactly what you deserve. Sure, how you doing? No, seriously, Dave. They say Jesus love you too much, oh. Dave Fagan, the name them bad. Yes. Last some, may I tell you, I hope that every labor right get exactly what they deserve from this government. You see everything that we were battling about the hospital, the hospital bad treatment, I don't want to know that, you know. But I want to know, because I wish that for nobody. I want to know, see it or experience it. What we was talking about. Yes, man. Yes, man. I want to know, see it and experience it. I want to see and experience the police them. What we are talking about when we say we need body worn cameras. You see, cost of living, you definitely are going to see and experience that. You see the water problem them, I want to experience it. People in my ball for water and them I give them drum. I want to still vote for this government. Them use style and cut ribbon about water in a community. Not a water in a community. Jacqueline, how you doing? I want to experience everything what we want to talk about. When we talk about the Samoa Agreement and the laws, them when they try to push to stop you from speaking about that type of sexual preference that people have, they're going to attack your freedom. They've done it already in America. They're going to attack your freedom of speech to facilitate how somebody else feels. And if the roles were reversed and heterosexuals was to have an organization pushing for that same agenda, insane, when somebody says something to we from that community, it let us feel this way. And they shouldn't say it. And we must put laws in place so they cannot say it. If the roles were reversed, you see when, all right, all I want to understand, like the needs, want to take the needs, I want to take the one where we are telling about the needs, want to definitely I go feel. By that time it I go too late. You taking the needs, by that time it I go too late. It's gonna be too late. You see the cyber attack them where the government institutes are get them are the cyber attacks on our information. You guys are gonna wake up and there's no money in your account. And you're gonna wonder what happened. You're gonna wake up and find out say, hold on, I'm a wanted person and don't know nothing about no crime. Because your information is going to be taken and easily manipulated. Because it's not properly protected. They don't have the infrastructure to protect our information like that. And them can't say a lie, me I tell. Because the news reports are out there. The other day, Mystic Sensation played one of them. This guy we name Dishant Safadia. That little Indian brother there, we turn billionaire when he come to Caribbean but never have no money when he there in India. Him did responsible for some things where the reports came out and said, hold on there. But anybody can access this. No password of the defeated. Then I paper. And I mean say so. And these are the people that are responsible for major contracts. In regards to the government, $billion-dollar contracts or multi-billion-dollar contracts. Jamaica, we in a trouble. A man can easily lie on you. The other day, when you remember when the young man was on the Wanted Wednesdays, you mustn't forget these things, you know. When you remember when the young man was wrongfully put on Wanted Wednesdays, the picture that they got, where did they get it from? It was a passport picture, upon him passport. Oh, them get the picture if you put up. Hello? Anyway, I'm gonna move on. That's not why I got here, but you know, it flows. It flows, people, it flows. Listen to this.
It's well-known Jamaican businessman and former president of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the JMEA, John Mahfood, is calling for significant job cuts in the public sector in order to move the country's growth agenda forward. He made the call in a media release earlier this week. With the JLP securing a third term in office amidst persistent low growth, the businessman says it cannot be business as usual. Mahiri Stewart tells us more.
The former JMEA president says the Jamaican economy cannot afford another 5 years of stagnation. According to Mr. Mahfood, many Jamaicans still recall the much-touted JLP promise of 5 in 4. That's 5% GDP growth in 4 years, which never materialized. He says with a renewed mandate, it would be folly for the government to simply continue business as usual and expect a different result. Mr. Mahfood says urgent action is needed. He outlined 9 measures he believes can jumpstart the economy. The first is reducing the cost of the public sector from 13% of GDP to 10% over the next 5 years. He says Jamaica's public sector wage bill has swelled after recent compensation reviews, which is crowding out resources that could otherwise fund development programs. It's for this very reason that Mr. Mahfood says the government cannot afford to increase public sector wages at this time. He's also...
Whoa, Bolo! No. Listen me. I don't think you understand how much exposure of Andrew Holness and his administration was said in that 1 minute and 32 second clip. Nerino, how you doing? The best prime minister ever. Mary Lizzie, what's up? Born again, oh Lord, what's up? The best prime minister ever. We have a robust, strong economy. Let me play that again. Let me play that again. Alright?
It's well-known Jamaican businessman and former president of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the JMEA, John Mahfood, is calling for significant job cuts in the public sector.
First of all, he's calling for significant job cuts in the public sector. When them people lose their work, where are they going? What are they gonna do? Is the employment rate going to go up or down? Yes, him say good economy can name Sonia big up. Him say a prosperity. This is a well-known businessman, you know. you cannot say that, oh, he is giving misinformation, or you know, the man said the economy has been stagnant and we cannot continue. So obviously Andrew Holness has done something very, very wrong in the last 5 years, but you're not voting back in. Now, what I would have said to this man is, Wagwan Ronis, I would have loved for you to come out before the election. All of these people, the church people, no disrespect, I would have loved for you to come out before the election when you were protesting about the Obia, because it's not now them a talk about the Obia. You guys should have been out in the street. That's the only criticism I have for the church people. For the labor right, them come out and a protest against Pernell Charles and the road and water and electricity. Now they are on the place for 2 years. It would have been amazing if you came out before the election. After the election, after a lot of you guys took money for your votes, you think, as a matter of fact, I don't expect no politician that paid you for your vote to listen to your protests. You have no right to protest. You forfeited that right when you took the money. He bought you for 5 years. So anything him do or she do, I eat that. The money done. It's finished. So the man want job cuts in the public sector. That the man a call for that. That's the first thing, you know. Now, with this increase in $32,000 for pay people minimum wage, what do you think is going to happen? You don't think that job cuts is going to happen? I had a lady on my program on TikTok. She have a business and her first response is that she have to cut staff because she can't go pay them. Where is the business coming from to pay them more money? Obviously, she have to cut staff. So, if it continues in this vein, where the economy is stagnant and is not growing, businesses, especially small ones, are going to die. It's common sense. This is really not politics, but it is politics. Because one party wants to do things one way and the other party wants to do it in a one way that is going to actually grow the economy. How many of you watched the video that I posted about Floyd Green really taking the PMP ideas and applying it to agriculture? How many of you watched that video on YouTube? Floyd Green literally stole the ideas of the PMP. I bet a PMP are in the country. If he's not implementing the ideas, he said he would. Because the way they have been going, the importation bill has doubled, right? If not almost, it has doubled, or almost doubled, since 2016. We have not produced nothing. I don't know if you guys listen to, what's the brother name again, man? Ralston Hyman on Portland Spice TV, right? Where he spoke about the money that they're getting off exports can't even pay two of the bill them. Can't pay two of the bill them. Oh, by the way, our dollar is falling. Our dollar is falling. Jamaica is in all types of trouble, you know. And let me tell you why. These are the basis of it. You cannot have prosperity when you are opening up the country to evil. The only way you have prosperity is if God is involved. And I know that sounds cliche to some of you, but there's nowhere in earth where you have prosperity Prosperity comes with peace, you know. Not crime rate going high, not poverty. If you don't have God at the center of it, there's no way we're going to have prosperity. And this government does not have God at the center of nothing. Them have obia, witchcraft, and evil at the center of everything what them do. Candle burning, rum chewing. I don't have a problem with the JLP stealing PMP ideas, you know. What I have a problem with is them acting as if it is their ideas. Give the PMP the credit them deserve. You win the election already. You come and say, all right, you know, the PMP had some great ideas. And this is one of them that I will be implementing. Dollar there, what the dollar there? 160 something? I don't know. Or 161, I'm not sure. And that you can quickly Google search that. Done up on our next device. Zine, and tell me. No man, listen to me. Is the plagiarism you have a problem with, you know, last sum? And then them try to make it look like say the PMP is incapable of growing the economy when they have not grown the economy. The economy is stagnant. We are on the brink of collapse. Our economy is on the brink of collapse. And it's the thief in a cause it. About a thief in them to stop thief. Them have the money for put the thing them in the right places and grow the economy. But them can't stop thief. A little birdie told me that some interesting names will be popping up when the reports from the Integrity Commission is read. It is alleged, ladies and gentlemen, that some big players in this one. Prophetess come on here, prophet then come on here, people. Prepare for the worst. That's all I can tell you now. Store up water, store up food, try to get one barrel, learn some survival. Start watch some survival videos on YouTube. For those that can fast, oh, you're gonna love this. Because you definitely have got definitely have to utilize the power they are fasting in this time that is coming up. You understand? Things are gonna get very, very serious very, very soon, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Valerie, how you doing? No, Valerie, I not call nobody name. I can do that in the chat. I not call nobody name. I am saying it's going to be very interesting when those reports are read in Parliament for the Integrity Commission. Somebody say, when hungry come, we march to country place of abode and demand food. They say Andrew food stored up there. I wouldn't eat no food from Andrew. I don't even want a glass of water from Andrew Holness. I don't want nothing from none of the Labour right them. MP them, none of them. I don't want a pin from none of them. I wouldn't go to them house. If I know them live, I stay far from them. Because, let me tell you something. If God decides to drop a lightning bolt, I don't want to be a casualty in that day. In that day judgment there. Nora, what's up? Let's continue.
In order to move the country's growth agenda forward, he made the call in a media release earlier this week. With the JLP securing a third term in office amidst persistent low growth, the businessman says it cannot be
that? Persistent, consistent low growth. Under Andrew Holness. Cheryl, how you doing? The Labour, they don't want. Remember, say this is second or third. At least we're going to get to it.
As usual, Mahiri Stewart tells us more.
The former JMEA president says the Jamaican economy cannot afford another 5 years of stagnation.
So we did have a previous 5 years of stagnation, you know. Let us establish that. We had a previous 5 years of stagnation. Not a good economy. A stagnated economy. a technical recession economy, according to them. In my opinion, there was nothing technical about it. You understand? And they continue to lie to us. You understand?
According to Mr. Mahfood, many Jamaicans still recall the much-touted JLP promise of 5 in 4.
Oh my God. Let's talk about the 5 in 4 promise. 5% in 4 years. Right? 5% growth in 4 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this happened on the cusp of Mama P losing the election. It is 159.83. Okay, so they are putting a whole heap of money to try to stabilize the dollar. That's what they're doing. Right? So let's talk about it. The 5 in 4. Me not think them say Andrew do good. That's why Nigel run away. Chinese eyes in the palm pint. That's why Nigel Clark run away. Now, when Nigel Clark is concerned, before me get into the 5 in 4, where Nigel Clark is concerned, I see Nigel Clark as a house slave and a sellout. Them paying the debt too fast hurt us. It did not facilitate growth in the economy. And I think they did that on purpose. I think that was to me, that was Nigel Clark pandering to the IMF so he could get the job he got. You understand? Right now we're not even near 1% growth. The economy about 5% in 4 years. Laugh my ass off. I kill Carter, big up. Right? I believe Nigel Clark sold out this country to get that job at the IMF. And that's my personal opinion and belief. Yeah, man, Peter Phillips did warn us, but we never listen. He did warn us. You cannot pay the debt too fast. You need that money to facilitate programs for advancement and growth in the economy. You pay what you need to pay. Right? Yeah, man, me feel say Nigel Clark sold us out. Sold us out and is on over there living his best life. And remember them raise the pay. That raising of the pay also affect us as well. 700 million. 700 million. For what? And we are not seeing any performance. That, listen, Akil, listen to the brother, listen to what him say.
That's 5% GDP growth in 4 years.
All right, so the 5%, the only thing I have to say about that is they argue that the PNP basically don't know what they are doing. If the PNP don't know what they were doing, you could not inherit a government and then start, Godson big up, and then start talking about 5 in 4. Mama P gave them the country in a good space. It was pivoted to grow, but over 10 years and they have not grown it because they're thieving up the money. Too much corruption and scandal. And them can't say a lie, it's documented. The Rural Read case, where the money there? Andrew Wheatley. Huh? All these guys and girls. They could not talk about 5 in 4. When they got Jamaica and the economy, Bobby Montague, thank you. Janet, what's up? When them get the economy was ripe for growth. And because of corruption and thieving, they have not grown the economy. And here we are, after 10 years, and right at the cusp of an election that just happened, we have businessman Mr. Mafood, coming out and warning us. Sometimes we don't want to see what a white man telling you what it is before you believe. You know. Some want to stay like that. You know long Rasta and I'm an attack. And I show you the figures them. Everything where Rasta and Iron say you can fact check, you know. Yo, me say me go to Babs and fact check something for him and I say, yo, that really on point. Me I talk about instantly on Google. Everything where man say a facts, brother. The man not tell a lie. Numbers them man they deal with. Jamaican people are joke yesterday and we are joke. We are joke. No, that is the only thing I would say, you know, Milavian. Him should have come out long time, but it don't stop it from being the truth. It don't stop it from being the truth. Two things can be true at the same time. He can be a hypocrite and he can be telling the truth. Agree? Because the timing, we should have heard this from before the election. Probably never want to look like same day on one side. Because Wagwan Elite Squad big up. Because 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. If him did come out in the election time, then with that same bias to PMP. And now that him come out after, we are going to say why he never come out long time. So me are going to give him grace. Me not going to label him that way there. Me are going to give him grace. What the man is saying about the economy, I'm not saying the recommendations of cutting the public sector. I'm not saying all of that, you know. But what he's saying about the economy stagnant, that is true. Them cannot do the same thing. They have to do something different. And the PMP had the manifesto ready for Jamaica grow the economy. And we failed on election day. Whether we got frustrated, whether we were intimidated, whether we took money and not vote, we failed ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We failed ourselves.
Which never materialized. He says with a renewed mandate, it would be folly for the government to simply continue business as usual and expect a different result.
It would be madness. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, it would be madness. That's what the man is saying. What the government has done before is a failure. No two ways about it. You understand? And big up Melting Pot. No two ways about it. Manly Heights. Yeah, you have to give him credit for just saying something because he never have to say nothing. But here we go on. You see, the businessman, they might feel it. The businessman, they might feel it. The pressure reach them. The pressure they depend on the poor people them first more, you know. But now, it has reached the business community. So that's why you see them run out and a ball out. That's why them run out and a ball out now. Hey, listen, the whole of Jamaica just need to get up tomorrow and stand up along all the streets them where them live. And just put up them placard. Nobody not even go work. Just get up and put up on a placard. You not have to block the road, you know. You not have to do nothing illegal, you know. Stand up on the gate. I tell you already. Get on the look selfie stick. Turn on Instagram live, on TikTok live, on YouTube live. You don't need to organize, you just do it. 1 hour a day, every day, and protest. Request the resignation of every single member of parliament of the Jamaica Labour Party. No voter confidence. That's not illegal. That's not illegal to do. It's not. Everybody don't go out and go work one day. You hear what I said? Only thing they can fire all of them. Jamaica, only thing they can fire all of them. Where you say them they offer Dr. Phillips a job but he never jump ship, him stay the course. I never knew that. How you doing, Tissa?
Mr. Mahfood says urgent action is needed. He outlined 9 measures he believes can jumpstart the economy. The first is reducing the cost of the public sector from 13% of GDP to 10% over the next 5 years. He says Jamaica's public sector wage bill has swelled after recent compensation reviews, which is crowding out resources that could otherwise fund development programs. It's for this very reason that Mr. Mahfood says the government cannot afford to increase public sector wages at this time.
So public sector wages is the teacher, them and son and them people, you know, so public sector, right? That's how you go. Basically, I go down. You have a bitter medicine in this message I am saying, you know. Because one, him actually a defending government same time, you know. I don't know if you understand that. This statement is defending the government, you know. Who is gonna suffer again? You, the regular people. Let me just confirm. Public sector workers in Jamaica. Public sector workers in Jamaica are governed by staff orders, new compensation system that provides increased total compensation. Who does the public sector worker comprise of in Jamaica? In Jamaica, public sector workers include employees of government ministries, departments, agencies, public enterprises, and entities with a controlling interest by the state, providing services such as administration policies, social welfare infrastructure, and transportation. These workers support government functions and are paid by taxpayers to serve the Jamaican people. Well, with that understanding, public sector workers is a vast number of people, and so they are employees of government ministries. Are the ministers of government considered public sector workers? Let me ask that. Are ministers of government considered public sector workers in Jamaica? You did not answer my question. They are considered. Well, I guess that's what he's saying then, Janet. He's saying that the salary of the public sector workers, that includes the Prime Minister, and everybody is too high. And they need to cut it back from 13% of GDP to 10% in the next 5 years. But what is happening is that the public sector worker, them Prime Minister going, the money is going up. Their monies is going up. The cabinet is expanding. Them already raise them salary in the automatic. It's on automatic. Yes, it grows every year. Say them salary grow today. Like this year, them salary go up. Yes, them salary go up. Yes, but I'm telling you, it's not just a 1 year raise. The raise that they raise the salary keeps going up. It coming like the St. Thomas Urban Center. You know that after 1 year with the big rent bill, with them off the government office them, it would raise 7% the next year. Hey, them people are there. Too much ministries, yes? Who is this? I don't know this person. Me not really I take request on TikTok right now. No. Yeah? Yeah, me not take the request on TikTok right now. I owe that romantic mood. What's up, baby? Happy birthday again. Best of yourself. I hope your event shot. And I hope everything runs smooth. I hope the food sell off. And I hope the liquor then sell off too. So you can order some more and sell some more same time. Yeah? I hope the public support you, not just the promoters. Anyway, we are going to move on. But we're not going to really move away from this topic. We are going to go on. Because when I listened to Mr. Wayne Lonesome earlier, but we never catch everything, you see me? Or this phone off to turn off for me a while ago. Hey, the mosquito, them are going bad, you know? I wonder if they release some mosquito in a Jamaica atmosphere where artificial mosquito. No, sir. Me stress out. Me can't deal with them mosquito here, brother. Mosquito, them get out and be. Jocelyn, what's up, Jocelyn? What you say? What you say, Amelia? Yeah, man, so when we wake up this morning, you know, you see, last night, I'm tired, you know, too. When I see that article here, I say, you know, I need to go live right now. When we wake up this morning, I'm seeing Mr. Lonesome talk about it, and they say, yo, Mr. Lonesome, yo, you're on point, you know, Virgin. Yeah, man, you're on point, man. You're on point, my boss. No joke.
Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Renegade. There. One. All right. It is very serious.
Very serious.
Very serious.
Very.
You see, the PSOJ are run scared right now. Anjo, you can't even match them up, man. Destroy them. So, forgot. Would you believe that? Them same one just come out. Chalmafu came out. I'm going to pay them now. And I'm going to say, the government need to cut the top heavy public sector workers. They have to cut it like 3%. Can you say, what means 13% of the growth? So, now later you will say, how much money have you to them now that will cut from the 13% to 10%? It's a thousands of workers that you know. They can't get paid for nothing still. And they say the country must shut. The man said, the country destroyed. But when we are set to the PSOJ, why they never run out? Well, we say the bar furniture one run out and we see separate group. Now, John Mafoon himself run out. John Mafoon himself run out. And they say, listen, you filed in 4th year. Him say, yo, Holness, government, you can't continue. We do the same thing what you are doing. But you still do like the same thing. The next 5 years can't work.
Cannot work.
That's a destruction. So when you hear this, when I hear it, I get to know Madam Lita, you know. Because the guy, we ain't anyway, if you get to accountable to the propaganda we spread, but this and about that and one bag of bullshit, the country block. No
money.
Everything we see, we sit down and tell them for a long time, and if them are run out of talk. Yeah? Not change it. Remember, I guess I just done. But when you see him and run out, I want to tell the government, say, yo, and the interest we find this and that, the one of them are saying the same thing. Remember, Omar Azan came out and said, yeah? Then say, but remember before that, telling us, yo, the man I run the country good enough. Me don't know where they get the 250 thing from. Fish headless, sit down and talk. The one of that bullshit. Because players out there feel it, hard. And if them are feel it, can imagine the poor people when they have nothing already.
That's what me I say. If you bigger heads them a feel it. Can you imagine the local man them where they, you understand, simple pebbles what's up? Best of yourself in a baby. Right? Can you imagine if the PSOJ is feeling it? Can you imagine the smaller man them? The regular folk? You know what I want the people to do? Thank you so much, baby. Thank you. You know what I want the people to do? Simple Pebbles, big up. You know what I want the people to do that have businesses? I needed to do more proper documentation. And no matter how small your business is, if you made $4,000 this month, and you made $6,000 next month, and you make $10,000 the other month, more you have to document all of that. Document the expenses. Learn how to do it. Everything up on YouTube. Even financial teachings up on YouTube. Right? You can Google it. Learn how to document these things. You bought stock, how much your stock costs. Write down everything, all of the numbers them, and see where your business is at a certain time. You're gonna know if you can tell if things are on a decline or if it's on a incline. And then if there's a consistent stagnant of this and then some dippings, and you can tell. And then you can measure now where we are at economically. Obviously, depending on what business you're doing, there's going to be seasonal economic expansion. Say for instance, even the youth them are there in the street who sell cigarettes or so. Do it too. Do it too. We have some season where the party them turn up and it boosts the microeconomy. Then you have some season where you don't have so much party. You need to factor in those things and look at what is happening with your finances. Start to take it more seriously. You're gonna know, all right, this is a season here. I've got to prepare for that season because it's a down season, You don't need to do your own inventory in that regard, so you can prepare on yourself better, right? Because things are really bad and they come like you not see it. You guys are in the boiling pot. It's like this. This is an analogy. We are in the boiling pot. There's something wrong with this. The people them a drop off. They might kick off the people them off of my life, But there 200 people a while ago and they just drop. Same thing with this one on YouTube. Yo, I don't know. Something a go on. Anyway, what I was saying is this. You have to measure on the thing be. You can't just leave it to chance like that. You have to measure it and prepare yourself as best as you can. And have to try to be innovative. And someone have to believe in yourself more. You understand what I say? Try, I don't know if it's education, depending upon what you're doing, but if you need to boost up your education, to try to boost up your business, invest in yourself. You feel me I deal with? I'm not one of those persons. All I hear me come on here and talk. Me not depend on the government to put food on my table. Me not depend on them to put no food on my table. To me at work. You understand what I say? Jamaica don't pay me. No business in Jamaica. Remember work for myself. Jamaica don't pay me. Jamaica does not pay me. The government and their plans and what they do. What subsidy? Jamaica don't pay me. I don't work for nobody in Jamaica. I work for myself. So I'm saying, what we say, what was that? What do you mean? We have subsidy you just reach? Yeah, they might kick off people off of my life. Nobody else dip roof. Fast. But let's continue. Yeah man, we have to take some, we have to try to improve and measure the thing and look and see, say, alright, Alright, so the analogy that I wanted to use is like you put a crab in a cold water. The crab feel comfortable. Jamaica, we are crabs in cold water. Listen to me. And if you know about this analogy already, you know exactly what I say. Right? No man, I not start you over, man. I can't start over my life on TikTok, but I not start over my life on YouTube. Yeah, I not start over my life on YouTube. What I'm saying, it takes too much to start over the life. Yes, the little Indian man. Not true. Culture big up. But Jamaica, we are crabs in a cold water. Alright? Hi Verly, how you doing? Your last name is funny. Is that Gregory? First time I seen that last name, Gregory. And guys, let me know where you are watching from. TikTok, everywhere. Where in the world you're watching from? Let me know in the comment section. Alright? Keep the chat going. Let me know where you guys are watching from. So we are like crabs in a cold water, in a pot, on the stove, Jamaica. And what they are doing is they are turning the fire up little by little. So right now, some of us feel like we're in a one jacuzzi because our body is adapting to the heat of the water. Remember, so the water is cold enough. So we feel comfortable and whether they are easy. We don't recognize that the man them turn on the stove. So we are now passive to the fact that we're being cooked. Jamaica, we are being cooked. We are being cooked. You see, if the water is hot and a boil and you throw the crab in it, the crab would jump out. Fort Lauderdale in the building, South Trelawney, Canada, Jamaica, St. Catherine. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 miles bull be in our place. We are being cooked. The man them a cook we, and we think we in a jacuzzi. So that's why you haven't seen the type of reaction in Jamaica that you would normally see in places around the world. You ever hear them say think of peace and safety and sudden destruction? Jamaica, we are being cooked. And there's selfish Jamaicans out here that it's not so bad for them. So they don't have any empathy or sympathy for what is happening to their fellow Jamaicans. Hanover in the building, Alberta, Canada, Florida. Thank you so much, culture. Where say them a cook with pimento wood? Jesus have mercy. Hey, I want to do last summer, next week. Hey, last summer that one they bad. The man them have we a cook, ladies and gentlemen. You don't hear the man say on the audio. Dallas, Texas in the building. Hi Royal, bless, how you doing? Right? First time seeing you. We have Toronto, Canada. A lot of Canadians in the building, man. Big up Canada. Sean, big up. Right? If they turned on that pot and had the boiling water boiling and put the crab in there, the crab would be fighting to come out. Viciously. Yeah, man, this is life. We are being cooked. But we don't know it yet. And I said these inconsiderate, unempathetic individuals that are not feeling it so much because them have a little bit more money and them don't have no empathy and sympathy for the people that are there because them see themselves better than them, have this complex of I am better than you, I'm of a certain class and a certain ilk, like you no bleed like how them bleed. Colin, how you doing? And you see, God no wrong, you know. God does so right. The more and more me think about quotations in the Bible, you can't go around it, you know. Because all of these corruption, at the core of it is greed, you know, and selfishness, you know. The reason why corruption in Jamaica is having the ability to breathe and survive like a cancer under the Jamaica Labour Party is because of selfishness and greed. Selfishness in, like I said before, I don't care about you, me good. Me link with the MP, me link with somebody when you're Andrew. Me link with Andrew. My pot a bubble and a boil. So to hell with everybody else in a Jamaica. The youth them we can't get no job and about them and niggle them cuss them out and say them lazy. When the system defeat them mentally. And let me tell you why in a whole heap of cases. Them tell the youth them say, go to school, get a good education, and get a job. Them go to school, get a good education, have 10, 12 subjects, and can't get a job. Who failed? Right there. The system. And the system has failed a lot of the youths them. How does the system fail the youths? By not growing the economy. By not increasing production, by increasing dependency and importation. The world is going in a certain direction. Our education system is ill prepared, and our education system is not positioned to facilitate this next industrial shift. And the government of the day is doing nothing educational wise. Absolutely nothing. How much years ago Andrew Holness promised say China them are gonna build two STEM school. When the STEM school end there? Where are the STEM schools? Me ready for go learn, you know? Me ready for go back to school? No. The worst thing to me is not being technologically savvy. Because me grow in a technological age. Me have to have some level of competence. AI, whatever. Yes? Where are these STEM schools? Promises, promises, promises. Unfulfilled. So we are here now, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are at. A stagnant economy, failure to grow it, and all of the methods being used that has been championed by the JLP. Then put out, this is what we have achieved. And now, the people at the top is saying, one of them, Mr. Mafood is saying, hombre, we don't do nothing in the last 5 years, you know? If we don't change this, you know, and more of the same and worse, you know, downhill we are going, you know? And that the man I tell him, say, you know? And he was not the only one. Mr. Richard Azan came out and warned us, not Richard Azan, Mr. Hassan came out and warned us about the economy, warned us about the bank them need to facilitate loans of a lower interest rate. Ralston Hyman has been warning us. Omar Hassan has been warning us. Ralston Hyman has been warning us. The prophets have been warning us. Talking about false prophet. We don't see false politician them. All I know we are talking about false prophet. We don't see false politician them. We don't see the deceivers. They come and then deceive you every day. I want to make excuses to them. But you ready to snap on the prophet them. Oh man, woe unto Uno man. Woe unto Uno. Big up Mr. Mark Stewart. Here, me see the man quote on scripture I never know. And the man I show you say, God and the prophet them. Well, when them get it wrong, you keep your ass quiet. And your business that. A God business that. Look how much time, the man said, look how much time Moses go to Pharaoh and fail. Look how much time. Because God hardened Pharaoh's heart to prove something to the world. God gave Moses the assignment, you know. And he failed several times, you know. Leading up to the final victory, you know. And there were people there doubting, and even after him have the victory and God showing power, the people still doubt. Remember, say them go so Bob Sada Bill, cow and calf and them something with the man up on the mountain, you know, man. God put them through everything, you know, and save them from fear, you know, and they go straight back to their wicked ways, you know. Only thing the 10 Commandments come from is that situation. So men and women of God is not perfect. There's no perfect prophet. There's none. But that don't make them a false prophet. I keep saying, what is the message from Peter Chambers, Pastor Shuttleworth, Apostle Shuttleworth, Apostle Peter Chambers, and Major Prophet Mark Stewart? What is the main message? Jamaica, repent. The entire island. If you don't, this is what is going to happen. You think it now happen? Judgment upon Jamaica. Judgment. I don't know about it, you know. But the way me see light, they never clap on the thunder roll, you know. Right now, I'm trembling there, my feet, you know. I beg God mercy, you know. I beg God mercy for artists to come, you know. No, I never say I know it about happen. I say, some little signs there. Only know see what go on at Kingston with the water. You look rain and fall. No, 5 people may experience that thing of the judgment then. We don't see nothing. We don't see nothing yet. We don't see nothing yet. But it's a collective effort of the people of Jamaica. It's not one or two of we. because the evil is so present in the country from the top. You know, hear what Marky G say, if the top of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also Jamaica. The river, the stream of Jamaica is mucky. And there will be no prosperity under this muckiness. None. Mark my word. None. You can't have prosperity without God. It's not happening. And prosperity, it coincides with peace. I'm not talk prosperity for one or two people. I talk about real prosperity. That a code, Indian. That a code. Believe the man. Believe. Can't work.
Zagadam, see, when we play this, well, I want to play so just like how to this side of the country, no? Yes. Because you know, I like them thing I know. That's what I like with this. Yes. You see me answer? Sonia, you go say. See? Yes. That's what I like though, them kind of show you because we have to open your eye to the lies. And we have to show the people them. None other about, yeah. Then, none other about, even though the big mama them carry it, you know. And I also up to them mislead the people there. Round here, so we tell them as is. We not add nothing. Here did some them round here, so now. It all out from them. That's how we don't big dirty thinking, mama. Don't go politics them play. You don't play politics with people like. Hear this.
One Jamaican businessman and former president of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the JAMAICA.
Hear that? The former president, Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters. Hear this.
John Mafood is calling for significant job cuts in the public sector in order to move the country's growth agenda forward. He made the call in a media release earlier this week. With the JLP securing a third term in office amidst persistent low growth, the businessman says it cannot be business as usual. Mahiri Stewart.
No, if them I tell you it cannot be business as usual. Boy, you listen to this. People are trying to hear when them I wake up. You live the life and I live through the hardship. But them I tell you something different. Hear this.
Tells us more.
The former JMEA president says the Jamaican economy cannot afford another 5 years of stagnation.
Afford stagnation. Cannot afford another 5 years of stagnation.
Exactly.
That alone, right off and doing this.
Right off. Expose.
Right,
expose.
Just listen to the word.
Totally expose.
Yeah,
According to Mr. Mafood, many Jamaicans still recall the much-touted JLP promise of 5 in 4. That's 5% GDP growth in 4 years, which never materialized.
He might have bought them from
them time there.
5 in 4. When leaching come out, skinny kid right now, he might pump up leaching everything what the government do. They in tight to NCD. And then that, hey, I see that a corruption, you know, because the man do a leaching side there, but he give that bank favoritism over every other bank.
No, me how we had the soap.
Like my business partner, you carry the business.
That smell good.
Look you back something. When you check him out with bleaching.
Yeah, man, that smell good.
Yeah, them now if they come out and bad, but this is about I'm doing, you know, in our service country.
Marcia, what's up?
Not really there. Just be the two little thing. And come out. Continue.
He says with a renewed mandate, it would be folly for the government to simply continue business as usual and expect a different result.
So that mean him that run the country wrong way. Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. People, you don't make things like this pass, you know.
Man.
If Andrew did do something good,
yes.
You get up and you do something great for the country. That's what Andrew them 200 and odd things say.
Right.
Them people.
You see, same thing. I'm glad because I first listened to the first part of this one. Me catch in and middle. So you see the same thing. Remember them thing when them put out achievements. It is a facade. If they did what they said they did in that, we wouldn't have this man I tell you about stagnation for 5 years and all that failure of the government. But we all know why is the corruption and the thieving, and that stopped the country from growing, because those resources that were supposed to be used in programs to facilitate growth gone in some people pocket. You understand? And them friend pocket. The thieving is the problem.
Come out, I tell you if it's change what you do, Because you can't run it the same way. And knock you from the inception from 5-4 and that fail. You think so? Break back. You know what I'm saying?
It's 5% GDP growth in 4 years, which never materialized. He says with a renewed mandate, it would be folly for the government to simply continue business as usual and expect a different result.
So if you continue not this way,
you know.
You know, get a different result. You have to desecrate them. And that him just say, out of them out, That means Andrew never did run the country good.
Full stop. Big up Mr. Lonesome. Full stop. Full stop. Yes.
Mr. Mahfood says urgent action is needed. He outlined 9 measures.
Okay, Andrew, put them up 200 things and just and we. All you need urgent action for the war. Eh? Why them man in the private sector have to come out and tell you what to do? Because you mash up the place. Remember the government did something good, you don't need nobody to tell you, say, yo, remember you can't keep the place that way you're running, They did in this trial. Everything we Andrew put up was life. Yeah? Because you couldn't do something good in the country. And the one of them I run out by you now, and I tell you, say, listen me. Change your yard, change course. Come out for the course completely. Make a 180 turn, not 360 because you go back into the same thing. 180 and drive go so. Don't know that way you go, it cannot work. If they come to this, you know what them say for do this. Hey, a time for the one them and burn them out.
One big lie. May I tell you, Jacqueline? Run them away, man. What kind of group them talking about?
I'm think to sit with everybody. Eh? GLP a lot, but this remember at them are export and are import. Now play others who are ball too in the sector. Remember Andrew own the sector, at them. And them have different things in the sector with them own them and them family. And when them come out of ball and tell you
must know say bad.
You know say it's
terrible.
You know what your government say? Because they will continue to tell a lie.
Yes.
Put things down paper, give you. These are all lies. That's yes, boy, I'm the man of the wilderness. Me couldn't go. You could have live a life for you can't buy a food piece. That's about food piece. The money devalue. You can't pay like bill. You have your thief like. And then Andrew come and tell you say, you are right. I'm going to run the country with. And then you for like yes because you get $5,000. You don't be a goddamn asset.
Yeah, think about that. You live in a space where you have your thief like. You cannot function in society normally. And you are talking about 1 PM and 3rd term and 4th term, and you have vote for that? You thief water, you thief light. And the man them come give you 5-10 grand. Yo, boy, I feel if you people them still in a man. We're in our cycle of unproductivity, it's like them which in our mental cycle of yo, John Star, I'm for living in a ghetto and can't see me way out. Say I thought, it is something in me where, and that's why I couldn't work for people for long, because if I don't see where I can grow in a company and elevate and earn more so as to reach my dreams and aspirations, I am going to leave. I am going to leave because I am not lazy, but I cannot be, I don't like stagnation. Most of the jobs them in the world, they bring you stagnation. They don't bring you growth. So when you hear Andrew is talking about, the unemployment rate has gone down, well, the standard of employment has gone down significantly. Right? Because all you have to do is work 1 hour a week and you're considered employed. Oh, and by the way, if you're not seeking a job, you're not considered unemployed. So when they're going to boast about having the lowest unemployment rate since other times, it is not right, nor legal, nor ethical for them to compare this time with those times, because those times the calculation of unemployment was a different standard. there was a different way how they calculated unemployment. So it cannot compare to previous years because the calculation has shifted just a few years ago. Because a person that is not seeking a job is not considered unemployed. And that is what they call context matters. Big up Isaac Buchanan, because it does. Context matters. When they hear the labor right, they might jump up and TikTok and talk about, oh, you know, do we have the lowest unemployment rate? That's why I vote for it. Shut up. You sound dunce. I when you have 1 degree, you're dunce. You see, you're dunce are you wicked because you lie to the people. Right? You're lying to the people. You're misleading the people. Say that this is the lowest unemployment rate since they changed the calculation method of unemployment. That is how you should preference it. And it's significant because such and such and such that I just explained a while ago. 1 hour a week, you are considered employed if you work 1 hour a week. And Isabel Rose, big up. Guys, make sure so you go follow her up on TikTok or YouTube, all our pages. She's doing a phenomenal job. Right? All they do is lie to us or tell us half truths. That's all they do. And frankly, I'm sick of it. I don't like liars. They make me body be allergic to them. I cannot see you and I come to the conclusion based on observation and facts. Know that you're a liar and support you. Me cannot do it. Me personally can't do it. I cannot support a liar. So I could never support Andrew Holness and in government because that's all them do. And you know what they say about liars, what they do. Okay? And you see what go on with the corruption in the film party over the years. All the things that the PMP has been in scandal about, if we were to do a serious comparative analysis of the scandals, the JLP is leading. Them are lead more than Usain Bolt in our 100-meter race. Whatever lead Usain Bolt has ever had in a 100-meter race, when it come on to lying and corruption and thieving, this government is 3 times the distance away from the PMP in any way you want to talk about, in any type of scandal and corruption. Them are lead by far. And it's just the truth. Go and look at all the scandals. Just go look at them. Because I'm not here saying that, there was no scandal with the PMP. I'm not saying that. No. Go and look at all the scandals. And listen, people forget about SSL, because we have 9-day memory. Don't forget about SSL. Did we forget? How much billions of dollars was stolen from those people? And only one person benefited from SSL. And we all know who it is. And is that a coincidence? Can't wait for October 13th. Father God, do what you do. We are watching your work.
You know, sir, 10 years ago you know live so. Things are cheap and everything. I know you are running up behind them. Eh? Them back people tell them about no. Well, hear this.
He believes can jumpstart the economy.
So Andrew, said the economy well. So all him again 19 she jump-started. That means it back down. And it's still back down. So if you have a full employment seat, according to Andrew Holness, the economy is supposed to back down, because if everybody at work at 3.3%, more than everywhere in the world, Andrew have full employment. But yes, nobody now work. Nobody now work. Yeah? But him have full employment according to Wade Henry. They're gonna play him in a parliament around April. Yeah? You hear this? Right. But But hear this.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Urgent action is needed. He outlined 9 measures he believes can jumpstart the economy. The first is reducing the cost of the public sector from 13% of GDP to 10% over the next 5 years.
So, when do Angelo put him friend and cover them, and the rest of them to work? Remember, you just put them on some this and no. They're not no skill, they're not no head. So you pack them up, and then you have to pay them. But how much more you can tax the people them to pay them? Because the people them where you tax not working. Them not work. And now when Andrew said where we are telling them not really work. Two look at hospitals and everything there. It not work. So if you cut that, when them just look a while, cut it from 13 to 10. You know what 1,000 people that have cut out them.
Exactly, Anissa. Everything where them hide before the election, leading up to the election, but the realities were going to Jamaica, all of it is spilling out.
The public sector? They're not the one name around there.
He outlined 9 measures he believes can jumpstart the economy. The first is reducing the cost of the public sector from...
The cost of the public sector. Remember, you know, we start at nurses, doctors and them, teachers and everything. Well, teachers can suck out to one more. But you have some people who have other and put down some things. Them are waste. Millions them again.
And the nurse, them and them people, they not get them pay. Jacqueline said she live in our community where the MP does nothing, but the people them vote for Andrew and essentially voted for the MP. Yo, so they really go follow Warmington. They lock their eye and vote for Listen, you see them people I seriously wish that you get exactly, I wish you experience exactly what they deserve under this government. Yeah, man. I really wish you experience everything what we are talking about, when the people in my face and them a ball over, I want you experience all of it. Yeah, man, you deserve it, man. You know so the MP now do nothing. And him a want labor right, and you still voting me? Andrew, right now, me, I got cheer for Andrew from now on. Andrew, beat them, Andrew. Beat them. Yeah, man. Beat them, man. Get the whip, lick them with the whip, Andrew. Beat them with the whip. Pressure them, Andrew. Dear me, that to know.
Here are billions because them are friend and collaborate. Them are fan. See them collect money in a church, doing nothing. Yeah? So this means
Ryan, what's up, bro?
From the 13% to 10% is a big cut that, you know. A big cut that. But remember, you have to keep that economy. So if you keep them up, you can't get the money to pay them. What happened? Whoops. So then now you tell him how to run the country now. You tell him destroy the country. Continue.
13% of GDP to 10% over the next 5 years.
So now you cut it from the 13% where you pay them a GDP to 10. Hear this again.
He says Jamaica's public sector wage bill has swelled after recent compensation reviews, which is crowding out resources that could otherwise fund development programs.
So it's swelled. So I'm telling you can't pay this and you can't pay that.
No. Yo, Mary said, Bolo, I swear these people are under a spell. Let me tell you something. You know, some never believe in them something one time. But it's too much. It's too much. It's just easy to see, like, nobody can, like, literally fool like that. Like, yo, you can't so dunce, brother. You can't under so much pressure and so much abuse. No, so much people can't have Stockholm syndrome. If you don't know what Stockholm syndrome is when you, as a person that is being abused by either individual or organization, but you make excuses for them. That is Stockholm syndrome. Them can't do nothing wrong. Oh no, but you know, you make excuses for why they are suffering you. That is Stockholm syndrome. Until you're no longer here with us. Sometimes it reach to that level. Them suffer you till they can't suffer no more. You have succumbed to your sufferation and your injuries. Why them really on one spell for 2 years, man? They under one spell for 2.
We attack and beer. The tell the man on the country to the ground. And then him come out with a book and a chat one bag of bullshit. Yeah. Look at the big dirty thinking cabinet again. Hey, we Holness, all Holness are doing, you know. I try to save themselves. And then they master the place. I mean, I know who follow them. Who follow them? When you hear the private sector come out and a bag, you know.
It's for this very reason that Mr. Mafood says the government cannot afford to increase public sector wages at this time.
So who are look for public sector wages? You want to tell us no, they can't wait. Remember, I actually get money and thing, you know. So no for now work hard and they can't pay on the bill. You go and drop one and get it now. Yep. Yes. But you still have a promise. The out of the money when you can't waste money on our work hard. Until then now, you know, this side of the place. Only for pay more. That can't pay neither, you know. That can't raise. That only can get a raise. Only can pay. If we go up there and go from 60 to 30. Eh? How that all work?
Go down there now.
Eh? How that all work? You see? Yeah, man.
Thanks for liking the live, guys.
Yeah, man.
He's also calling for lower interest rates to spur productive investment. Mr. Mafood says the present high-rate regime is strangling the productive sector. Only yesterday, the country's central bank held its key policy rate at 5.75%, but commercial banks have been slow to reduce their lending rates. He says it's not justified based on the present low rate of inflation and significant foreign exchange reserves in hand.
So, this message that he's pushing, Ralston Hyman has been championing that for about a year and now to my knowledge. He probably was talking about it before that, more than likely. But what I know, I have been listening to Ralston Hyman talk about this exact same thing when man just talk about the interest rate them, where the man them a lend money to, the bank them a lend money. Interest rate them too high, so it has stagnate productivity. The man has been calling on the government to pressure the bank them to lower the interest rate. And they have not. I tell you, you know, you see, I look on the relationship with government officials like how I would look at the relationship with a girl I'm talking to. Her actions tells me how she feels about me more than her words. Baby, I love you, but you don't do the things them that show me you love me. You do the things them to hurt me. Those are just words, they're empty words. This government is that type of girl. That government take your bun, that government take your jacket, that government take thief the money out of your account. And that type of government that we have. Don't put your gear the money, she don't put no food in the house. You're starved. She tell you to go buy KFC instead of cook one nutritious meal for you. If you're gonna have junk food, to slow you up. This is this government. It is a sad reality. I mean, I bash the woman them. It's just a good analogy if you tell you how them a treat we. This government is like a boyfriend we beat him wife. Hello? This government is like a boyfriend that don't give his wife no money and expect to come see food in the house. This government is like a boyfriend we cheat on his wife, brawling, and expect her to shut up and don't have no feelings about it. And if she talks, she get beaten too. These are the government that we have in Jamaica. It's sad reality. Yeah, Philly are the vibes. That better than in a sense, yeah? Him is a paid operative. Him don't come with no... I don't feature him on my program too much. I don't want... You see, in nonsense people, them, I don't want my name to be attached to them on media. Me refuse to give them any spotlight. Even if them have more subscribers than me. You know, you see who me promote? Sensible people. Annie Isabel Rose, Atta for the Press, Wayne Lonesome, Aromatic TV, Mystic Sensation, Andre Stevens, them program there. Them people let me promote. Just talking about some people on your platform, you promote them. Me not really want to talk about them, brother. You have some man where support Andrew Holness. Me not even want to talk about them. Me only talk about Andrew Holness because I have to talk about him. Because I'm my prime minister. As soon as he gone and they went for there, and God put him away for there and doing business with him. I done business with him. It me irrelevant after that to me and my program. I'm not that attached. You feel me I say? I just true today I talk straight. And I don't hate him. I hate the wickedness when I do. Clear wickedness to the people of this country. You understand? God and time. God and time.
Mr. Mafood wants alignment with inflation and
I
productivity.
chauffeur.
He says any
Yeah, well, but that we are telling this. If you are come with this, I will remember, you know, remember, you know, the productivity thing is a very to go up. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, blah, blah. Yeah, where you say, a 4 term. Them alone. Well, then, I should have 10 term when them done, and not even, not even don't come on them. Yeah, nobody know. Understand? You are not building, you know, this way yesterday. You are big building that thing will go for you, understand? No, you can't read of that. When are you in charge of it? Are you in charge of job or will prove you? Are you in charge of school? They put that chairman where you tell me, you don't even know where you are chair. Eh? You're in charge of something that big money. And then middle of somewhere them to them just go run and chat. The country not running. But you see them come out about like this. Them and them alone come out, you know. Now play some more. Watch out.
Question is, how do you bring it down to a more acceptable level, like 10% in that region? So part of it has to be in terms of realigning the public sector with personnel, increase.
About the book, you know that. Okay? Put that in the air.
People in the business do my soup.
The import bill even grow more and the export bill more shrink. It never go back 3 billion because we export that 3. Look, you think that's what I mean? Look one down at the art. Who can they put 3? Let me get money from Angla then.
Mr. Mafood says there needs to be a consolidation and streamlining of services within the public sector to free up valuable resources.
That hasn't happened. There is still overlap of services and
overlap of services. And to put in Korobo, and the defendant put on Korobo. Some gunman, some.
Hold on there. You remember when the Auditor General talked about the overlap of services when it came on to the housing program? How would this man talk about now? Only listen to this. Mighty God.
it hasn't happened. There is still overlap of services and
overlap of services. And to put in Korobo, and the defendant put on Korobo. Some gunman, some juggies, some all kind of people.
When you say Jacqueline, sign the petition, how I go about it. Hit me up on WhatsApp, 876-451-6535. One of my moderator then put the number in the chat, please. Last one put my number in the chat.
And put them out and some dumb fed. We look them all around. We look them at them and manager them at this, them at that. Around some institutions that are unbelievable. Because all them do is collect. All these people do them just collect. They never have a sense of what they do. People that get contract to do what they don't do. They are not build them and they don't do nothing. They never do a pavement yet. So even if there was a mason, they were like a mason. Something for a good for you know. Time I put in the same way. But you pave, you might use concrete and remember concrete build road too. If you know the thickness of the concrete, you can't think drive on it. No private thing. If you know so well, I'm a fair slant that at a mason. The water for run off and think rather give mason the work on the road. But we now remember them build house and build goat and it's stand up. And then build them have to put in flooring and them have to catch this thing and stone and steel up so they know. So we rather some days instead of making some little man something and two little roller. Believe it or not. Yeah? So when they go under this and it disturbs, I say no, this is the firm, make a ram up this, I will move this and put some gravel yes and do this. Because when you build things, you can't sink on you, More than you can everybody just give them a shovel and do foolishness. Them not do that.
Thank you, Nora.
Public sector wage bill at 13% is, way above what it's supposed to be. And the question.
So the public sector wage bill at 13, can you imagine it at 13? And you want to cut that to 10. To 10. And nearly at 30, I got Yeah? Yeah. Can you do that like 12 where you cut it to 8 and you be 1/3? You have 13. So enough the percent that you have got enough people that. But then for go on because they know them over collect free money. Free money, bigger work please. Run up and down and all thing them do is carry news and bend over. Blow up. Turn saxophones and learn more. Appear that them go away. Yes. Turn up and them on the musician by the way. Yes. Full left packet just put some people that speak there. See? Yeah. See, so you don't see them some job, but them don't understand. You're not builder, this, but you're big building a thing where go for you understand. Nothing you can't read of that. But are you in charge of it? Are you in charge of job of the school? Are you in charge of school?
And sector we personnel, increasing the efficiency, implement.
So they're not increasing the efficiency. We are aligning it to the real thing because we have paid too much people. Yeah? And it's a service country. And you know get service. Because when you go into the island service place, then where you get? Most of the people just line up, but nobody get their served. And people sit down and pick them near and everything. You understand? Yeah man. This part.
Of shared services and so on. So we are in a position to also give reasonable wage increases to those people in the public sector area. And we are not able to do that now because it is still at a very high cost to the country.
John Mafood, former president of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association.
So he might come out about now. Whatever, 2 months ago. They might come out about like 2 months ago. See that?
Right now, as it stands in the Jamaican economy, the economy is struggling. It's probably the worst I've seen in the 30-odd years I've been in business. The buying power is the weakest, and government needs to find ways to, catalyze the economy to be able to grow. We tried our best a few years ago, and Jamaica started to see growth. But right now, they've done so many things to stagnate the industry.
Okay, come and tell you this now. This is Omar Hassan. And this, we didn't say the time that we didn't say this. This is in March. Then him come back now around July. Him and the other one.
Interest rates need to come down quickly. The Bank of Jamaica needs to come out of their tunnel vision.
Let me say this for the people on YouTube. If you look at Nightbot, the Magnitsky Act is right there. Can you help me out by signing this petition challenging corruption and human rights violation in Jamaica? Magnitsky Act, we need 10,000 signatures. See link there right there, Senator Jacqueline. Right under the message. Even my number. Nightbot drop my number in the chat as well. Over by Bolo VNR clips, see there? To join my WhatsApp group. Good people, please text join to 1876. And people text me all the time. Random some hours a night, miss them. Hours in the morning, because they read what Nightbot is saying. Nightbot have all of the key messages them. You guys need to pay attention. Links are there as well, where more want to pay attention to. Even my other channels where more want to join, it's right there. Alright, my good people, let's continue.
And start thinking out of the box to manage the economy, because right now it's in a very stagnant state. And actually in a debt.
The one of them masks will come out and let them run the expo. Remember, the one of the coats that supply them. He's the biggest supplier. Because Power Furniture and supplier foreign and everything. But him about too.
Imagine that.
I remember a group of companies, what of them have, Them about.
Stage, and it is actually quite frightening what is happening.
No, Herman. Remember I said him talking the one we talk today after. Oh, he could have talked before the election. But remember, no, them still Russian too. Them say come out in a unison and run away.
Rosalie, how you doing?
In the country, them say you just continue with the same thing. That means Angela doing something right. Too much of them can, you ever hear them come out from preach and post and come to this?
No, sir.
Happen anybody else?
Me never hear that.
No matter the time, no brother. Continue.
Who never hear?
The business people.
Who never hear the PSOJ people and the business people them come out from the government like this before? Have you guys ever heard that? You're in trouble.
Anyway, and that's 50% down in terms of sales, the retail trade.
50% a year when it's a retail go on your manufacture. 50% down in a sale. 50.
And every expense is going up. Their rental rates that they're paying to rent used shops and stores is going up. Their light bill consistently is up.
This is what we talk every day.
Every
That's
day.
a simple math way to know.
Simple.
Yeah. See? There's no doubt about that. Everything go off. And then you still have to pay the workers. That's what I tell them, say, when you just watch me now. Remember, I want them about that up there. So if Factories Jamaica, with them name NCB, now carry that down to 200,000 the money. Remember, up at St. Thomas Plaza. That will not work.
Can't work.
Yeah? You understand? Yeah, it now work. We are telling them the same thing. So them have to come out come say the same thing what we are telling them, but this don't make no sense. I'm going to tell one can go on and tell some little people because they want to look at chicken. They say people are collect chicken, you know, but they have no food. That don't make no sense neither, you know. And everything you take, you know, you have to think, you know. You know, no.
People are collect chicken when they have no food. Winifred, what's up? Hey, pick up yourself, you know, bro. No. No, me can't believe this. No, sir.
They never be chicken. Let them have a dead. They need it today. They can't leave them out over there. Let them on the bed. They never good bed. Yes. You understand? You got to let them on the bed. Then that helps. I know by a week and two them young them because they're hungry. See? So we enter to the place. Get it?
You know, it's a tough world out there, yes, but we can do things to make it a little easier for our people in this country. So the minister and the government has a lot to do, and the Bank of Jamaica and our commercial banks to try and stimulate this economy, because if they don't start doing something now, the economy is going to start fumbling and they're going to be in big trouble.
I wanted to expand.
Stimulate the economy. Hear this? Yeah.
On that a little bit more from Mr. Azam, because it's good to hear your views on that, because the data is suggesting, and we hear the government talk a lot about economic growth and inclusiveness. It talks about business.
Well, don't answer that. Well, let me take out that.
Bless up, prayer.
Don't answer that first. Yeah, talk. Don't answer that. Yeah. Yeah, talk to me now. Talk to me.
No, can't make no taxi this every day they go to school because then the taxi man they block the road.
Why?
They block the road. They block the road to block the road.
So hold on. No, the other day they must fix the road them. So the road them bad already.
Yes, the taxi man then, yeah.
See.
So couldn't get no car this morning to set up the little girl. They have to walk. The school people they have to walk this morning. That's true.
And then we kids still know. The man not doing no work. Hey.
Bad road.
The man not hey, this bad road. Which part just call out the road and I tell them go attend to the people and go down because we don't take 5-10 million. So why the guys
can't see Steve no.
Yeah, being road.
Have a fun party, man. Fun and cool it down.
They got an IGATE yesterday, but as far as one not up here yesterday.
Yes.
And they tell them, Mr. Supposed to see IGATE road. Man, listen to them dropping like patrol them.
Man, no good man, swing up.
No, the IGATE.
You know, tell the then people are we fix what? This is bullshit. And we are telling them, we're going to do road them, and they say, we must take it my political football and bill. This is what Andrew do.
When you talk about the doctor then,
yes.
Because Spanish on the hospital, last week Tuesday I got doctor, because I want fight them over there. And when me go over there, Mr. Rose, for me reach over there 8:30, and me never left the hospital till 5 o'clock in the evening. People are bad, the doctor, when you go to the doctor, me and the doctor guy attack, the doctor guy said to me, we're tired. He said, around the clock if I work, he said, if you fall, they'll live it, you know, so they like white. He said, they're hungry, he said, not now go on, and Paul Kugel man make a guy there. Guys didn't say my bill on Paul Kugel, guys will just back up where my guy said, not now go on. That's how it doctor tell me.
But people are feeling it up. But we tell them, because remember we don't have no clone now.
Yeah, man, it's salon for me, tell me, see, I'm for
Yes.
I'm going to check out our place, because I tell you, say, time get the chicken and everything ready. I'm going to see if we can make full restaurant. Think can deliver everything then.
But mommy, you know hear this someone there for me salon some? Oh, you're on the phone. So the lady said, the doctor said nothing now go on. You might go build a full cup up on my head and done work as doctor. Da-da-dee.
The doctor tried doing pick up farming now for make up money. First time you need a doctor do that, you know, doctor does a big doctor.
It's show me on the phone, it's show me on the phone. Now when I say I'm guys, I'm come from, I say, well, you know, now when I do a phone, and then they show me and start to talk. So I go to the other punish the hospital, you know, I have to use a specialist, don't be tired, over there.
It's a tough tongue then. You see them people there Jamaica when I joke, you know. Hey, let me tell you something. That's why I'm in a business who I work for Andrew when they're talking about come push up on yourself in a defense money, you know. I'm in a do lie. And the people in Jamaica want to push back. Push back. When you hear them run up and with them look up big dirty thinking, say, remember, who not get hurt.
Of course.
You push back, tell them come out of your way. You know, talk to them, you talk to government. Criminal government. Yes.
Like the granddaughter of school, kid I'm fresh out of school. I'm ready to go to school. And I want she have to walk. Almost 1 mile or more, 1 mile, if you have to walk at school, they shut up himself at school. No taxi. Them block the road. Because the man, them block the road through the road, bad.
This bad road. But then the man up and down like now fix everything. I mean, I ask them, you know, if the same thing I tell them I do, if them that do it, them come back and do it today. And they can't continue to do it every month. No, them stop. Them stop now. You don't know.
You see the MP woman, you think everybody else care around here. She not coming what's like how she get all like a post. She not come here, they don't want to see her and can't see her.
But when it comes to the election, then you see them. People will stop this.
Yeah. I when you talk, I don't care. I do not.
Me love that. Hey. Yes, we are someone that. Me love that too because get this. When we talk on us and we like motivate people to talk about, you know, we not in the food do something for one part. Friend the environment. We are expert that we see.
I think we've gone about it possibly in a little simply doing that inside us.
How does that happen? So many people can get a thing for one part. It'll be an answer. Continue.
What is happening? Why is there a dissonance between the two?
There are 1 or 2 businesses that maybe some growth, but I tell you, the general economy is struggling out there. The real estate side of things, the building, the construction side of things is slowing. Interest rates has played a major part in doing that. And the business side, the manufacturing side is struggling. And we need to find ways to stimulate back this economy, because what we've done over the years and tried to build it back coming from where we're coming from, I think what we've done in terms of managing this inflationary issue, I think we've gone about it possibly in a little different way that we could do something, but it's creating a havoc in the economy right now. Buying power is the weakest that I have seen in all my years of doing this. I'm not just speaking from my own business, but generally because I sit on other boards, it is very weak. And it is actually a little frightening for me when I am looking out there and seeing what's happening in the economy out there. So we need to find ways of trying to find ways. The Bank of Jamaica needs to come out. Commercial banks need to start doing things to stimulate stuff, because you're going to find ourselves in a real pickle if we don't do something quickly.
We know.
Me no need to go no further. Anybody want to call in and express and talk? You know what I mean, on this topic, yeah? You can call me. I don't need to go any further. That's why I'm here. I did 2 hours. That's more than enough for this particular topic. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I think I've said everything that I wanted to say on this particular thing, because, I mean, like literally, they lied to us about the economy and the state of the economy. They lied to us, Jamaica. And the business people are coming out. The PSOJ is coming out. Things are that bad. The man say it's frightening. 33 years in business. And it's the worst him ever seen. That was 2 months ago. I know we have more people coming out now in that sphere. of knowledge and business saying, Brethren, enough, go do something different, you know. This is a stagnant economy, it's not growing. And if the economy stays stagnant too long, it's going to die. It's going to die. Let me give you an example. Sorry. If you have a plant, and you water the plant that gets sun. You put manure upon it. Excuse me. You put manure upon it. You do everything you need to do. And the plant still is not growing. And you know it's a plant that usually grows to this amount at a certain age. At some point the plant is going to die. What it's doing, it is refusing whatever method you are using to help it to grow. It's not receiving it. There's no result of growth. So the economy in Jamaica will die. And I'm wondering if there's entities out there, groups, organizations out there that have some relationship with Jamaica that would love for that to happen. Because the people that will be feeling it the most is us, the poorer class. Real estate and everything through the roof in terms of prices. So what do you think is going to happen? More homeless people. Oh. And if you're paying rent, you're 70% homeless under this government. I don't think you guys are hearing me now. If you're paying rent, you're 70% homeless under this government. Imagine what the landlords are going to do that own houses when the economy and they need money. They're going to raise the rent. $32,000 for minimum wage, they're going to raise the rent. Because cost of living is going to go up. There is going to be a ripple effect. There's going to be a rippling effect in our daily lives, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a ripple effect. Prepare on yourself. Me and Andrea said this statement from the other day after the Labour right then win. Prepare for what's to come. I hear Andre Stevens saying that a lot. Prepare for what is to come. We warned you guys. We warned you. And it's not just what is preparing to come on a local level. You have to look at the international level as well. How things happening around the world and the war between these countries with tariffs and everything, how it's going to affect small Jamaica when we have zero food security. Zero. Can you imagine? Zero food security. Mighty God. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Remember you were else and I say, oh Lord. You may play that part. Oh Lord.
You used to get more money because Reagan said Seattle was the money of the Caribbean. Right? Them couldn't pass no IMF test. So
destruction taking place in both places must now have our full attention.
Over the world.
I will.
$62. Because
you live right now?
Jamaica get the most
you live right now, I'm not going to play.
Israel used to get more money because Reagan said Seattle was the money of the Caribbean. Right? Them couldn't pass no IMF test. So when the PNP win in 1989 and go back to the IMF, that was the price of going to the IMF. The IMF man them tell man that they have to liberalize the economy, free up the economy. You get what I said to you?
Yeah.
Alright? Free up the dollar, make it run. When the man them did that, PJ was the finance minister September of 1990. The dollar was 7 to 1. When Mr. Siaga even go over Bank of Jamaica and tell people themselves the dollar soon bust because he kept it artificially at 550 to 1.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Yep. So when the man them free up the foreign exchange market, the dollar dropped from 7 to 21. You follow me, I said to you?
Yeah.
There was no reserves like when you buy can intervene in the foreign exchange market.
Make sure what you say.
At the time, in fact, the reserves were minus $500 million. You follow me, I said to you?
When the PNP came to power in 1989.
Yeah, just like when I set up. Them always, when PNP are coming to power, the Labour, them always set up the economy in a scarcity policy and we give them enough trouble to manage back. Yeah? So when we hear them talk about fiscal prudence and management, I rubbish them talk. Yeah? So inflation jumped to 90%.
You hear that? Historically, the Labour they always mash up the economy just before losing an election. Me telling you, say Labour them is the enemy we farm against Jamaica, you know. The Labour Right Party is the sole enemy that farm against Jamaica progress.
Yeah? So when Omar Davies take over now, he must increase the interest rates just like we have to contain the stress on the dollar. At that time, the banking sector, just like we might be able, at least might be able to better now. There was no regulation for the banking sector. So man lend to them friends, man use the same collateral for borrow from several different banks. You have man who around the country and borrow money and send to gas to pay it back and all kind of things.
Siaga.
Start with Blaze Trust and Merchant Bank, we used to see them there up the south.
And Edward Siaga was one of the men who get loan and forgot to pay it back.
Yeah man. And the Prime Minister was an administrative assistant, yeah?
So Andrew Holness was the administration assistant of Eddie Siaga.
Yeah man.
And Eddie Siaga borrowed $30 million and say he never member.
Yeah, for Villa Karen was an enchanted garden from Central National Bank which went bust in 1996. Then you have the Workers Bank, you have Eagle Commercial Bank, so everything go bust, right?
And people like Audley Shaw had some of them bad loan there as well.
Yeah man. Hold for man with the cabinet right now. Alright.
Yeah, Mary, I go pan but I go behind, I go from behind.
The PINSAC report.
After spending $150 million on it, and remember, Omar Davies who them blame and say he was the worst man, him tell them over observer, say yo, just say because we spent $150 billion on it and we get the truth when the report released all now. 10-15 years after the report can release it.
Now, Ralston, so it was the bank sector, the banking sector, that caused PINSAC to come into
pressure from the IMF to liberalize the foreign exchange market. The criminal bankers, them who run with that foreign, Paul Shane Young, Dan Crawford, Delroy Lindsay, all of them man there, yeah? And then the business people who exploit the banking regulations and use the same collateral to borrow from 10 different banks, and politicians them who borrow and never pay back and sell them forgot to pay back. Things that now create and say, alright, we can't allow the things to go down, so here we are going to know. All of the bad debt them, where the banks them have, we'll take them and put them in a FinSat. And then the property where them have now, we'll sell some of them property to see if we can get back the money.
Where's the Mary? Isaac, come on already.
So, all the things like Crown Plaza, Upper Canton Spring, they were 10 young about that. So, the two mutual life towers and them things there. The building where you see Guardian have in a New Kingston up on Trafalgar Road, because when the bank of them do and take the people them money and tie it up in a building, because the man are used to say it's big a building them can build. And when they run out of money now, they borrow money from the Bank of Jamaica.
Oh. and so a lot of them whole Bank of Jamaica, which was at the time run by the government.
Precisely. And we have to write off all the money because $140 million is coming to after you sell the asset.
Ralston, what is the latest on SSL and Usain Bolt money?
Nothing.
All right.
Just a while ago. And then we played
Efficient and productivity.
Yeah, man.
What go on, brother?
Yeah, man, yeah.
You know this report, yeah? We played the starting report just a while ago. And then we played a report from Mr. Mafood talking about what government needs to do to start with the economy. But first, Raleigh, just break down the starting report for us.
Which one report? There are two reports here.
The one that speaks about agriculture up. Let me play it.
So you're talking about the GDP report?
Yes.
During the second quarter of this year. Real gross domestic product, or GDP, adjusted for inflation, climbed by 1.6% when compared with a similar period last year. Statin says this was driven by a 3.6% increase in the goods producing sector.
You've heard it before, Rasta. Do I need to play it?
No.
Right, because I played it already for the listeners. So that's the one I want you to play.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to the GDP climbed by 3.6%, 1.6% during the second quarter of this year compared to the second quarter of last year.
Yes.
The goods producing sector, which account for 30% of GDP, climbed by 3.6%. 3.6%. What?
I've heard it before, Rasta. Do I need to?
Product, or GDP, adjusted for inflation, climbed by 1.6% when compared with a similar period last year. Statin says this was driven by a 3.6% increase in the goods producing sector.
You've heard it before, Rasta. Do I need to play it?
No.
Right, because I played it already for the listeners. So that is the one I want you to break down first.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I'm starting to the GDP climbed by 3.6%, 1.6% during the second quarter of this year compared to the second quarter of last year.
Yes.
The goods producing sector, which accounts for 30% of GDP, climbed by 3.6%, and the services sector was up by 1%. Within the goods producing sector, agriculture was up by 9.2%, construction 1.7%, manufacturing up by 1.5%, mining was down by 4.2%. Within the services sector, the tourism sector grew by 4.1%, financial and insurance services 3.9%, transport 1.7%, public administration 0.9%, information and communication 0.2%, real estate and renting, which includes the BPO sector 0.2%, wholesale and retail was flat, electricity, water and gas 2.6% decline, education and health services down by 0.5%.
So the third quarter, that's the third quarter?
No, this is the second quarter.
Second, right, because I was on the third quarter, that's quick. So that's the second quarter for the year 2025, we have a 1.6% growth. Is that what it's saying? Simply saying that we are going out of the recession, but does that takes us out of stagnation, Rasta?
No, we're still stagnating, we're still crawling along, yes.
All right, so we hear these.
So that's very important to know. According to Ralston Hyman, 1.6% growth does not mean that we're not in stagnation still. We're crawling along. Barely. Embarrassing. We need some milk. Need more nutrition. Barely crawling along. We don't have good legs yet economically, people. You hear that? Good. Let's continue.
Argument also, they spoke about unemployment is down. But of course, significantly to that, underemployment remains at 5%. What does that mean?
Yeah, man, unemployment rate was barely kicked down by 3 percentage points from 3.6% in July of last year to 3.3% in July of this year.
And where they said those jobs came from?
Well, the majority of the jobs, they say that the managerial category, 10,200 jobs, wholesale and retail, 8,800 jobs, manufacturing, 7,600 jobs, service and sales workers, 7,300, accommodation services, tourism sector, 7,400, craft and related trades, 6,400. 32,000 new jobs were created between July of 2024 and July of 2025.
And these are mostly jobs that you're getting what, minimum wage?
Yeah, man.
So they're
from the managerial category.
All right, so Mr. Mafood Ralston is saying that government must cut public sector worker. How can that be?
That's not going to happen. The way you have to do it is grow the GDP. When Isaac busted the budget, he told them that he grow the GDP to get the ratio down back to the 9% or the 10%.
Right.
So you have to grow the economy. That's not going to happen.
So you can't cut.
So people, the suggestion from Mr. Mafood by Ralston Hyman, man, I say, yo, you can't do that, brother. You have to grow the economy. You have to grow the economy. It's the only way to solve the problem. Let's see what happens if them are going to grow the economy sufficiently. Not crawling, but real growth. Let's see.
So what Mr. Mahfoud is saying is not going to happen.
No, it's only that already. That's not going to happen.
Now, where is the growth going to come from now, Ralston? This is the question.
Well, as the numbers indicated, the largest growth within the contribution to the 1.6% growth was agriculture, which was up by 9.2%. And we see the accommodation services, which is tourism again, which is part of Brand Jamaica. So it tells you that if you grow the economy, it means that agriculture, Brand Jamaica, the same creative industries teamed up with tourism and those things that you are talking about. Yeah.
But
interesting. Agriculture is at the center of the growth that Statin is talking about. So when the PMP come out and talk about the actual focus that they would have on agriculture, one, the EASE program, where every child gets a hot meal. They would be giving $9 billion to the local farmers, them set them on a path of growth in the foods that they would feed the children. So they would have a monthly or weekly market. However them do it, every month, depending upon the crop, or every week, depending on the crop, they would facilitate these particular crops to that initiative of feeding the kids in school. So it would simultaneously help with the education of our children, because they'll be present at school, feeding them so they can concentrate and learn, and also feeding the families of the farmers them with the $9 billion of the tax dollars going to them. That was one of the big plans for agriculture, to one, increase productivity from the farmers, and also to help them with, getting their things out there. Another way that they mentioned was storage, having proper storage facilities for these crops. So they would buy the crops from the farmer them, so they would decrease their loss where their excess is concerned. You understand? So whatever market that they have, that they sell to, say, all right, them have these sell the excess, they would buy it from them and store them. And they also talked about, like for instance, making tomato paste from tomato. You remember the brother that came out, the farmer that lost all those tomatoes? They could have got that in storage and they could use it to make tomato paste. That's a product now that could be used. We have a lot of pizza places around Jamaica. Them use tomato paste. That's what goes on the pizza. Yes? So the People's National Party manifesto for the agricultural sector was definitely going to help us to grow the economy, because that's the one that has the most percentage in there of growth. That Rastan Hyman just said a while ago. Let's go back and listen. Hold on there. Let's go back and listen.
As the numbers indicated, the largest growth within the contribution to the 1.6% growth was agriculture, which was up by 9.2%. And we see the accommodation service.
So agriculture is the largest contributor of the growth, which is up by 1.2%. Which is up by 9.2%. So when they hear the figures and the argument from Dr. Dayton Campbell, so passionate and adamant about focusing on agriculture, you wonder why. He also spoke about the creative industry. You shouldn't be wondering why, because he knows what he's talking about. Dr. Dayton Campbell knows what he's talking about. You understand? Very unfortunate that what happened on September 3rd happened. We all know what happened. Very unfortunate, but God is not sleeping, and we're praying consistently for God to deliver us from the evil that this government is. Let's continue.
which is tourism again, which is part of Brand Jamaica. So it tells you that if you're a growing economy, it means that agriculture, Brand Jamaica, the same creative industries, teamed up with tourism and those things that you're talking about. Yeah.
Creative industry.
Are they ready? Are they moving? You see any movements?
Well, they say, we hear the argument that they say that they are going to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see. Nothing has happened since the election. So we'll just have to wait and see. But those are some of the policy indicators that they pointed to. Now,
and that's very important because we have a government that knows how to say the right things but never do them. Promise but never fulfill. And nobody can say that I am being harsh. Just look at Andrew 100-day promise from 2016. Not one promise was fulfilled. They have a track record of this. So, Flight Green is saying all the right things. Even using the PMP's ideas. Now, like it's the JLP own, which I did a video about that, and showed that it was the PMP's ideas from past clips and present what he said the other day. But him saying it, let's see if they're going to implement it. Let's see. That's all we can do. We can wait and see. I doubt it though. Because I told you guys, I believe there is a consistent, deliberate effort to destroy this country. You understand? That's my belief. Tomorrow, how are you doing? I know it's you. Big up yourself.
Important point is reducing the interest rates, and the governor and his monetary policy committee got it very wrong on Monday. And one of the things that they told us is that Planning Institute of Jamaica, we and the crew provided them with anecdotal information that the economy is estimated to have grown by 3 to 4% during the period June to September, which is just totally ridiculous. So that
will be the third quarter.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
So they are saying, so the Planning Institute is saying that the Jamaican economy will grow by 3 to 4% in the third quarter of 2025.
They use that as part of the explanation for not reducing the interest rates after S&P told us that our rate of growth is way below countries with similar rating.
So
rather than cut the interest rate, they told us that nonsense and kept the rates at the same level.
Wow, that's crazy. So BOJ told them that in the third quarter that they're going to have 3 to 4% growth just to not lower the interest rates for borrowing. So Harrison Hyman is saying they told them that nonsense. Oh my God. Jamaica is... I don't want to say nothing more now because people are going to think, say, I just doom and gloom me and talk, but yo, I don't realize what is going on. We are being set up. Oh my God.
Is it that we are running the country on imaginary numbers? We just think of some numbers.
Anecdotal evidence, and them have the beauty of the call to write that and release to the public.
My God.
Ralston Hyman said the BOJ had the gall to release that argument about 3 to 4% growth to the public. Yo, we are being lied to, ladies and gentlemen.
It was gut feeling, yeah.
It's anecdotal evidence.
Anecdotal evidence, yeah, man.
So that means these are not no real evidence, you know.
No, there's no scientific data, there's no measured data to say that. You just run some numbers to a computer and then tell them that they're not accepting it.
What it is that they are saying that we are going to produce to get this 3 to 4%?
Well, they never told us. That's the point I'm making. They never told us.
and nobody asked them.
No, nobody asked us. Nobody asked us about nothing. So we still even give thanks to John Mafood that him come out and say something. Because apart from him and Omar and nobody within that crew asking about them.
But have we called them to the table, Ralston? Have we?
Wanna hear that? When good men stay quiet, corruption, greed, crime persists. Everybody is quiet. Although they know the foolishness are going on with the government and the economy, they stay quiet. You hear the man say? Big up Mr. Mafood to even say something. And big up Mr. Omar Azan too. Everybody else, enemy of the state, enemy of poor people, quiet. Then conscience will not lend them any balls kahunas to come out and tell us the truth of what it is, so that the government, the JLP, can continue to mislead and deceive the people of Jamaica. We are them something when them up on the pirate ship. We are blindfolded and walking on a gallows with shark-infested waters, slowly being pushed towards the edge, only to be devoured in the end. That is what is happening to us in Jamaica here. Remember good?
Invite them to the table to sit down and answer.
Yeah, and then ask them, man. Then you take the invitation. When you call them, they never come. They find some excuse to give you why they can't come.
Why they can't take a telephone interview? Yeah. Because the technology is good these days. You don't have to forward telephone interview.
Nothing to do with technology. Because nothing, them just don't want to comment on nothing in relation to what is happening there. Just like what happened on our side. It's a kind of fear syndrome.
But the people have to cry out for more answers to it. It can't just be that you just tell us something and then we also see from the other side that things are falling apart.
Yeah, man. Yep.
We've been saying it. Here is SNP now come out and say, listen, Jamaica, you are at a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do something about growth in the country.
And the governor pretended that he never hear and still keep the interest rates at the same level.
Mighty God.
But the governor is also saying that if I bring down the interest rate, they said the commercial banks now move, so it don't make sense. What do you say about that?
No, well, it can't be. It can't be. The primary role of the central bank is to control the money supply at a level that is consistent with the employment and growth possible and the lowest inflation.
Yes.
So if the governor can't tell us, why the man then respond to what he says, something about it. It's going to make sense to pay me for that amount.
But Raleigh, isn't that a fact?
Sorry?
Isn't that a fact that him bring down the rate before? How much time? 3 times before?
Yes, and what I said to you, the strategy can be to surrender. So the governor has said to the Minister of Finance, the governor is responsible for monetary policy. The Minister of Finance is responsible for the overall economy. And the Prime Minister is responsible for the overall country. So the governor can't take the path of least resistance and say, boy, I'm not cut the rates because them money now respond. Because cutting the rates is important to grow the economy. So I need to seek help from the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. So the bankers then say they want the asset tax to be reduced.
So now, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance don't see what happened. Why the Bank of Jamaica need to call to them? They are blind.
But precisely.
And of them have the burden. And of them have the biggest burden, the biggest responsibility to the people.
That's the point I was going to...
So when it come on to what Rastaman is saying, the individual we mentioned is saying, even if I put out a memorandum or a statement of action towards lowering the interest rates, BOJ can do whatever they want to do anyway, so it makes sense me do it. So basically he's supposed to be an advocate for the public interest. After for the press big up, he's supposed to be an advocate for the public interest, but then he's not advocating because he must say he is powerless. No matter, even if he advocates, nothing will change. And Rasta Hyman is saying that's rubbish. If he advocates and they don't do anything, they have. Where you say him lose? That quote already? I've worried about that. I'll find out what's going on with that. If he advocates and the public, if he advocates and they don't do what they're supposed to do, then he's saying he has another action that he can take. Reach out to the Minister of Finance and also the Prime Minister so they can join in helping him or her, whoever is in the position, to rally on behalf of the people and make sure that the BOJ lower the interest rate. So it's like basically the government is allowing the BOJ to not lower the interest rate. They are not pressuring them on the people's behalf. And Ralston Hyman has been championing this. Now we see Mr. Mahfoud championing the same thing, the lowering of the interest rate. We heard Mr. Omar Azan championing the same thing to increase productivity and growth. So the government is to be blamed for this. And that is causing a lot of people's lives to be more difficult. You see, when people say election done and whatever, they are foolish. And I'm saying, yeah man, me see what you say, man. They are foolish. And I was one of those foolish people at one point. I was. Because it's not always about you. It's about the collective. You understand? It's about everybody. So the government is to be blamed. And we are going to lay blame on the government because it's their fault for doing nothing to help the people of Jamaica. And we now stop beating the fire. Who are vex? You could have typed till a week, I don't business. When you could have in the comment section, I don't care. We are stand by the truth over here, so. And them for blame. Them are make the people them life harder. They have the ability to make the people's life easier. But they refuse to because them are wicked. Them are wicked.
So next, he's responsible for the overall economy, and the Prime Minister is responsible for the overall country. And if S&P and the people of Jamaica said to them that the country is not growing fast enough and we need to accelerate growth, and interest rates is one of the constraints, that is holding back growth. And the bankers said, by the way, the asset tax is one of the problems that we have. The Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister know that the asset tax should have been removed from 2016. Now, the asset tax is only $13 billion, half of 1% of the total assets of the banking sector. So the government was planning to give away $13.58 billion with a 1% reduction in the income tax rate from 25%.
And they were going to do 10% reduction.
Sorry?
They were going to do 10% reduction, not just one.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like in year one, so then try to give the man a timetable and say, by the way, okay, we'll do the full eliminate the thing this year, I will eliminate it over a 2-year period, just like what the opposition gave a timetable. And as a quid pro quo, why you bring down the interest rate?
Yeah.
And you need to approach the man then with some negotiation to get the thing done. It can't be that way, boy. They're not having the rates down, so we're not about to bring the rates down at the central bank. That is not a good policy. It means that we are paying the government for nothing.
So is
we are paying them for nothing, not the government.
Or is it that the banks will a bigger stick that they can move? What about the legislatures that can really change things?
Well, all of that will have to be a part of it, but you have to give the man a charge. You need to bring down the asset tax and then you impose the legislation, and then you have the thing about the government deposits being spread across the banking sector, not just the two oligopolies in the sector. All of those things are part of the toolkit that the government has to deal with the problem.
But Ralston,
it can't be that the government says, boy, I'm not reducing interest rates because they're never doing it. No.
Who making a bag of money right now?
All right, so basically what we understand from what Ralston Hyman has said, right, is that there's specific things that the government can do to ensure that they reduce the interest rate on loans. But the government has not tried nothing. They have made no attempts. You see, if you are the police, you know, is given a job to serve and protect, and you see a man right there, so a beat up a woman on a live or through batteration, and you sit and not go and do your job and turn your neck and turn your head from the situation and walk away, you are just as guilty of that crime that person committed. This is what the government is doing. They are turning a blind eye from doing something in regards to having the banks them lowering the interest rates. The people them are suffer, the economy is suffering, and they are doing nothing. And people want to lay them blameless because they must you know, I not even want to be disrespectful. Let me continue.
Or else done.
The banks.
So, let me ask you this. Because how me look on this thing from the other day. The banks have this government in their pocket. Remember, you know, Fitzjackson, they bring a bill to the parliament and said, banks, don't charge Jamaicans to deposit your money.
Yes.
Don't charge Jamaicans to withdraw your money.
Yes.
Don't charge Jamaicans to check them balance.
Yes.
At a minimum service to the people. And this government voted in favor of the banks to continue to charge us. So,
only hear that? So we should not be surprised. How you doing, Deb? Mr. Fitzjackson went on behalf of the people, put a bill to say, listen, stop charging the people them for check them balance in their account. Stop charging them for draw money. Stop charging them for put in money as a service to the people that put their money in your banks. And the JLP voted against it. Me telling you, say, the JLP party is the weapon that farm against poor people in Jamaica. I don't think I lie, me I tell. They are the absolute weapon that form against the people of Jamaica. Yes, you have to pay to check your balance. You have to pay to check your balance. Oh, Lord.
When I see them not doing nothing and not taking no firm stands on the bank, is the bank control them? Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, but the was, the people voted back for the government, so the people who control the government, and the people who want growth and improvement in their living standards. So the people have to come down heavily on the government and make them know, say, who want the rates go down. It can't be that everybody is like in silence and only John Mahfoud and...
Oh, really?
And...
Hey, me love how Ralston answer that question there. It boils down to we, the people of Jamaica. Because this has been happening for a good while now. But we have allowed the government to serve us in this capacity and not said anything, and we never vote them out. Them backing out, and we're not protesting, and we're not making any noise, and we're not demanding them to stand up for us. So, it is the Stockholm Syndrome. We can't blame the government alone, we have to blame only two people. Because you guys have not done anything to stand up against the government. You are allowing them to abuse you. You, the people of Jamaica, you are allowing the government to abuse you and not work on your behalf. So we have got to take some responsibility. Years after I press, I tell you no, go out and protest. Stand up. We have a lot to protest about, The police, them extrajudicial killings. This situation with the economy and the banks and the high interest rates. We have a lot to protest about. Agriculture not being the focus. Lack of food security in Jamaica when we are looking at WW3 right around the horizon. Climate change, also something that is necessary to make sure that you focus on food security. Look, rainfall the other day, so we didn't talk about this, say, these shocks. Right? All these shocks as an excuse for not growing the economy. You soon hear them talk about it, But you must know still.
And Omar John from the business community was talking about those things.
But really, you're the government to read it. You know the government to read it? You never hear tough chance say the opposition must shut on them out. We win this thing here. We are run this thing here. So how them are read it is that the people them say, do what we did that do. Continue with what we do. And so them are read it.
Yeah, well the people just have to accept the poverty and poor living standard for that them what.
But we, Ralston, we attack these things here. We have bad news where we just attack and preach doom and gloom for the government.
Well, people can say that, but we just have to follow the numbers and so what the numbers are saying. And the numbers are saying, and the international people are saying that we're not going fast enough for the people in the street about them hungry and this and that and the whole place are washing and everything. So, I mean, they have to take a decision as to what they want the government to do for them because they're voting for the government.
I'm not going to keep you long, Ralston, but Statin also says that we are importing 4 times what we are exporting. What does that mean?
That has been consistent and the trade.
Box cover. Oh my God. I never knew it could be worse than I thought. We are importing 4 times what we are exporting. If that's not a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is. Me telling you, the money is the weapon that farm against Jamaica. And meanwhile, I'm showing. This comes from Statin, We're listening to statistic, factual evidence, I have people in my comment section that chat foolishness, And I defend the government same way, Don't blame the government for your go and plant food. I really dislike you guys. I really hope that you just not come to my page and watch. I don't want a viewership. The persons that think like that, just leave. Leave. Thank you. Don't watch this program anymore. It's like you guys are being paid to come and talk nonsense in people comment section. 4 times. Mommy, I didn't know that. Hey, mommy, Jamaica is importing 4 times what they're exporting. You didn't know that? Yes! Starting put out the information. And Lance Hyman and Colin Bella talk about it and I record and I react to it. Mighty God. And people still talk about one payment this government. Me say, all the negatives that this government is bringing on this country, I hope it only happens to the labor right them. Or uno fuss. Me want uno fuss feeling. And I'm very serious. All the negatives that this government is bringing on this country, I want the labor right then feel it first. Because it's the only way we're not going to wake up and see what we are seeing. We no lack vision, we no blind. I don't want it happen to first, man. I pray God say it happen to you first. Every decision where they make will impact us negatively, I want it to happen to you first. Because all the way it happen to you, but more happen to you first. Only more want it happen to first. Yes. Yes. That more happen.
Yeah, continues to deteriorate.
Come in the comment section and chat foolishness. When man are showing the statistics and facts.
You can't grow because you can't grow by importing and selling to yourself 2.7 million poor people. You have to be exporting, yeah? And that is part of the problem, and that is part of the problem that the governor has. The governor thinks that demand management. Right now, today, they are mapping up $14 million out of the system. All of that is very negative because the dollar is still not stable. Yesterday, the people in the foreign exchange market responded to is not reducing the interest rate by pushing the exchange rate from 161.05 to 161.22, forcing them to come back today to map up another $14 million out of the system. That money should be used to increase export earnings.
Them same lose.
And all of those things.
Ralston, why we don't hear anything from the government? Anything at all?
I don't know why they're so silent. Maybe they run out of ideas.
No,
because it is clear, because everything that we're doing are things that we used to do before the election. Nothing new is coming out of the government.
What is the issue with America before you go, Ralston? What is happening in America right now? The country. As American government gets.
We just going to left you right this, in terms of the reaction, I'm not going to further. Because I know I pass my time. When I want to stay under. Yeah, man, 32 minutes. So. Well, let me know to think about a conversation with Rasta Diamond and Colin Bell. Guys, please go over to the Portland Spice TV page and go and subscribe to the platform. Alright? Make sure you go subscribe to the platform. Let me show you. Alright? See it there? Yeah, man, Portland Spice TV. See it? Make sure you go subscribe, alright? That is it. Alright. Storm up the comment section and get this video up to 1,000 likes. I'm out. Alright, that's it for me. Yeah, man, me hear about it. At half I press did there. Am I surprised? No. Because of the power of corruption in Jamaica. I am not surprised. Paul Buchanan lose. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. The Constitutional Authority has refused an application by the People's National Party candidate Paul Buchanan to void the September 3rd poll results in the St. Andrew West Central constituency. Jamaica Labour Party leader Dr. Andrew Holness was declared winner in the seat following the election. Buchanan filed the application on September 16th. I'm not surprised. Him have to do there, man. All a part of God work at the end of the day. Him have to in the position of power for God take him down. So, I don't saw it go obviously. Someone big up Mr. Paul Buchanan. And I believe this is one of the reasons why the rest of the members of the People's National Party never brought anything there. Because you see, the power structure and the corruption in Jamaica is so stink. It stretches, the tentacles of corruption in Jamaica stretches so far and wide. I'm not surprised. At all. At all, I'm not surprised. I don't really want to get into this now. I'm going to open this now. If you go read it now, I'm going to try this too. Mama, lend me a phone now. Huh? I just asking you for it. Just ask a fee. Because the green have one local style where I don't like.
86 million accounts shut down in Vietnam in 6 months because of cyber attack.
Dangerous times we're living in. Dangerous times we're living in. As Mr. Paul Buchanan say, no well-thinking Jamaica will believe that Andrew Holness won that seat fairly. No well-thinking Jamaican. The Constitutional Authority has refused the application by the People's National Party candidate Paul Buchanan to void the September 3rd poll results in St. Andrew West Central constituency. Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness was declared the winner in the seat following the election by Buchanan filed the application. The Constitutional Authority noted that he relied on the ground stipulated in Section 37 of the Election Petition Act that there is an upsurge of violence or any irregularities during the election day in one or more polling station or polling division in any electoral division or constituency, which would lead to substantial distortion or subversion of the process of free and fair election. Buchanan submitted several affidavits in support of his request, but the Constitutional Authority said after careful consideration, of the affidavit, the relevant case law, it found that the evidence presented did not satisfy the standard contemplated by the wording of Section 37. Buchanan was reportedly informed of the Constitutional Authority decision on Tuesday. Holness studied blah blah blah. The margin of victory stirred wide public discussion because the JLP blah 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 18 blah blah blah. I don't want to read that alone. That is it. Hold this mommy. That's why I like the phone. Phone faster. Just get it done. I need 2 more phones, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to sponsor me one phone? I can't go to my shipping address, you know. Who want to sponsor me a phone? All those people in the diaspora. Anybody want to sponsor me a good phone? Talk to me, you know. Let me know if when I just spoke, it came in your spirit. Yes. And those are the people who want to deal. I don't want to deal with nobody who can tell me about how they did buy me one phone. No. If the Lord leads you, I want to deal with clean-hearted people. If the Lord moves you to buy me a phone, let me know right now. When I just said that a while ago. And if you're seeing this recording, the number is 876-451-6535. Link me and I'll send you my shipping address. It will come right, not almost to my doorstep, but pretty close. You understand? All I have to do is go and clear it. Alright? So anybody that wants to buy me a phone and ship me a phone, I need 2 phones. I need 2 more phones with you. I'm not going to ask you to buy me a laptop. I'm going to buy that myself. But I need 2 phones. You see if I buy a laptop. Laptop costs over $1,000. You see if I buy a laptop. You understand? But we need 2 phones still. Who have to contribute a phone to the platform? Talk to me. Talk to me. Let me come for your phone, huh? And that's all I have, folks. That's all I have. I'm not going to speak no more about the Paul Buchanan thing. I've said my piece about the election itself. Alright? Only God alone can come tell me otherwise. Say no, so you go. Yeah. Only God can come tell me, say, Bolo, it don't go so. You understand?
And then clap here. You put the letter and then because you're right, you're telling me worldwide renegade tech. Yeah, one. All right, Pumbas. Up the top boy, you're right, yes. Up the top boy, right? All right. Now the top boy, Tapia too. Ambassador Tapia. Farmer ambassador. Yeah. Because I watch an article when they print, when they publish already. You have to draw it up close because Tapia they run out. And when they run out, he can make some speech. US, you look for Tapia for me here, please and thanks. So Tapia, they came out and then put out this. They want to put out this. Vast clear after narcotics, grew up Tapia. And then Tapia, you put the letter Wafala. I'm going to read the letter. People want to read the letter. Now put it up on the screen and read it. Yes. US, I know you're not stupid, but we'll put it up on the screen and read it. Can't up here. Your letter misleading, brother. When I know how somebody is saying, I'm going to read the thing and it's misleading. Now put it up. Now share it with them. Not true. Of course. So we dissect Tapia letter, but Tapia talk about Pumbas and welcome for film conclusion. Next thing, I say honest. This is some move in the paper when it say you and Tapia in a letter, you come to him. And
wait, listen to me. Anti-Maitland protest. How would you react to that go on? No wonder Andre never there.
If you can hear
this is awesome. I'm just so weird. Andre the funny observer a protest. Maitland a protest Maitland case. But that 2022 that.
Yes. Now funny. But Tapia, as I said before, brother, come on now. The letter misleading are 2 things. The letter misleading are you just want mislead Pumbas, just believe everything good, right? They just ask. But the letter when you write and say you write to this and them like that. And by the way, the media who print that and put it out, it misleading to one and seven. Come on. Do better than that, man. Do better than that. We are dissect the letter right now. Before that though.
There's the eyes at the Bankalin show.
Mama Judge, them say last our life today.
To respect every single right.
What is it? All right.
I mean,
let's talk to the Shadow Minister of Human Rights on the issue. And then
Patrick, we are dealing.
Yeah, but then we are not then can just not a release so.
Sir, on your overwhelming victory. The victory will mash up the world. The victory.
I thought I told you that the committee is coming.
They didn't believe.
I thought I told you that the committee is coming.
Yes. Congratulations again. And also congratulations on your appointment as the Shadow Minister in charge of Human Rights and Youth. Before I can talk to you about East Portland, Isaac, that man was just on the phone. I actually cut him off to talk to you because he's upset about the opposition stance or the opposition voice on the unaliving of that young man down there in Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon. And that the PNP didn't have a press conference and vexed about it. You want to speak on that first before we get to East Portland?
You know, I'll start by saying that it's every single instances of the unaliving of a youth, of a Jamaican citizen that everybody should be upset about. What one must remember is we are just coming out of an election and the unaliving start and the numbers and the body count is very high. What we really need to do is realize that it is the government that there should be a response for in terms of just allowing extrajudicial killings to take place. And
so basically, ladies and gentlemen, what Isaac is saying is that if they were to do a press conference every time an extrajudicial killing happened, or every time something else happened that the people think they should do a press conference for, it is not practical. It is the government of the day that should respond in kind. They are the one that is in power. Right? We know the stance of the People's National Party. I don't know why somebody come with them come on and behave like this. You need to sit down. You need to sit down, man. Calm down, man. They are not the government. The PNP is not the government. It's the Jamaica Labour Party is the government. Start demanding. You need to go out and protest and demand Andrew Holness response in kind of how you want him to respond, and stop do that to the People's National Party who is acting as if at them have the authority to go and do whatever where the police force is concerned. Want to make it look like say them have the authority to implement body-worn cameras. Lay the blame where it's supposed to be blamed. Andrew Holness telling you, he said it. Don't make any excuses for the government. Lay the blame where it's supposed to go. Okay? It is impractical for them to keep a press conference all the time. The people of the country need to take some responsibility. Fight for yourselves. Get up and stand up. Fight for your rights. You know your Bob Marley said, get up, stand up. He never said sit down and talk. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Come on, man. Stop it, man.
And the basic response is let it come out in the wash, because unfortunately, especially for the Cherry Lane killing, the young man won't come back alive, and we see the evidence that is clear that it was a killing that cannot be justified under any circumstance.
No circumstance.
So what people need to understand, and everybody should be upset. Everybody in Jamaica should be upset, which is why the tone of the social media space is silent, especially those gadflies who like to criticize and shut up on the issue of body cameras. There's an integrity issue and an honesty issue that we can deal with, but a press conference will only be a repetitive cry by whether it be opposition, whether it be NGOs, Jamaicans for Justice to call them out. It won't change unless the people of Jamaica accept that extrajudicial killings is wrong. And it has become a plague on our society, which I don't think that we should allow it to continue throughout the end of the year so that somebody can boast about statistics of a low murder rate, because murder is murder at any level.
Any level.
Whether it's done by the police or done by the bad man or the good man or the jealous lover or whatever it is, it's murder. And in fact, the laws of England makes it clear that there's no distinction. The case is called R.V. Clegg. A law enforcement officer gets no better treatment for murder or is classified as anything else. And so we just need to do the public sensitization, public education to understand that we want justice, but this is not the way. This is not the answer.
How does the opposition spokesman on human rights deal with this from here on in?
Well, certainly, well before even getting, I like to say this, being the spokesperson of human rights is just a formality. My entire life, work, and my advocacy is always about human rights.
Yes.
What I will say moving on from here is I will use the platform to educate my counterparts in Parliament and as well continue with public education, because what happened in Cherry Lake is a human rights issue. It's a breach of the right to life. It is one of the most fundamental human rights that we have. And we need to respect every single right. And if there was a respect for human rights, especially by not all, but some actors in the JCF, we wouldn't be having a conversation about a caller being upset of the silence of persons to speak out against something that is fundamentally wrong. Certainly, what I won't do is inundate the public with press release every time you see an extrajudicial killing, but to work to ensure that, one, the body cameras are used, not just for traffic offenses, but the more serious ones, and to have an appreciation.
And that is what a lot of people should know. They have been styling us. They are using the body-worn cameras for traffic officers. They have body-worn cameras. And even Isaac Buchanan said, the body-worn cameras where them have, one of the footage from it was used in a case. So they have the ability to equip the police them with the body-worn cameras. Them is wicked. Jamaica, they're telling you, they're wicked, man. I want need to wake up and stand up. This government, Horace Chang, Andrew Holness, and Kevin Blake is the weapon that farm against poor people in Jamaica. Remember, somebody tell you that they have the body-worn cameras, them are used with the traffic police, them. Isaac Buchanan said it was used as evidence in a case. That's how him know. So them have a database where it is stored. And them can't say it's a lie.
And that the public should be suspicious when there is a resistance to wear it, because it is for the public safety and also for the protection of the officers to justify.
That is the thing, Isaac. We see where the police are not wearing the body camera, but at the same time, we don't see enough drive from legislatures, and not just your side, but the government side, who have the authority to implement policies. And it ought to be a policy decision to ensure that the police wear these body cameras.
No, so so here's the problem. The police officers are wearing body cams. They wear it for traffic stops. I have a case in court right now, and I can play the video of the traffic stops. And we know, and through these body cams, we can see where officers just...
What are they telling us, sir? You hear me talk about the case? Good.
Lie. So the danger, so I will submit, and until they do otherwise, that with the lack of use of body cams is because it poses an integrity issue and excuse issues when things are untoward. And we are saying, because I can tell you this, there are more members of the JCF that is above board and have the highest integrity than there are the few ones that you need to weed out.
Totally agree.
If there is, like in the past, if there is a death squad, we need to know. Because a lot of this time, these officers aren't from the police stations in the places where these things take place.
But how can the government convince us now that there aren't a death squad? That there is a death squad.
The problem is this. I'm not going to sit here and throw blame on government But to say that if there are state actors that are complicit, it's something that we need to know. And in the past, we've had a death squad. I think there has recently been an appeal. I don't want to misquote the name of the man. I don't know if it's Chucky or something. But some appeal in relation to testimony about being a part of a death squad, an appeal being turned down. In the past, there has been a death squad. And Amnesty International have in the past punished police officers and their families for participating in police activity of that nature. All I am saying, and Zolika Jess is the best person to have the conversation. She is the Shadow Minister for Justice to take that on. Yeah. But in relation to the human rights aspect, I will always take this tone and this position because in the same breath, and I've said this to young police officers all the time, don't get boosted up because the force itself will discard you when you are before the court and convicted. They will say you are a bad apple. So the best thing to do is to operate with the highest amount of integrity and understand that life is something given to us without knowing we are to receive it. Respect the Constitution, respect the human rights of the citizens, and that's the position that I take. And I don't think that in any functioning society, any government official should take a different approach.
Isaac, I'm not going to keep you here and talk about your ministry straight, but
yes,
I have to talk to you about East Portland because this is a warming interview for my listeners and viewers, and I'll tell you why. Before the death of Dr. Bluefield, I used to be at Styles, and on a random Saturday morning, I could have just pick up the phone and call the MP and talk to him. Since 2019, I haven't spoken to a member of parliament for East Portland for some reason or the other. So having the member of parliament for...
Can't call action and... action and not take no call from this man.
East Portland on the line for me is a joy. Isaac, talk to us a little bit about your campaign and East Portland and the victory.
Well, I must say, we ran a very, very vigorous campaign. It would be reminiscent of many of the books, but I won't call them out because the other side, like, even though some of them can't read, them like to go look and hear about what is in those books. Anyway, but I must say that there's a teamwork make the dream work. Yes. I'm happy to say that we did bring home fellowship. Congrats to you as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And we did well in other areas too, especially those that wasn't ours. Mansion Hill, we really came in, and there were some significant areas in the Ferry Hill division that really showed up for us.
Yes.
But that aside, there was a view that I was not living in Portland, but that is media. The reality is I was living there and my opponent wasn't.
People don't know that.
No, but a lot of people don't know that because they think that a 5-minute TikTok video is sufficient to say that you are interacting with the people.
And when I tell people that they don't live
issues running rampant all across Portland. Met with Water Commission, very good meeting. Some pipes were fixed immediately in the Prospect Division. We are still identifying.
So tell me, say action on the Liver Portland. I would have not believed it if Isaac never said. Wagwan Patsy. You never know say Isaac Buchanan. You never know say action and never live in a Portland. So Darren live in a Portland neither. How would you rather go on so? Him just have property in Portland. Okay.
Identifying those areas, but knowledge is power, they say.
Yes.
There is a drought. So Mansion Hill is feeling it. Some sections of Ferry Hill, as it relates to fellowship, where the bulk, the source of the water is the Rio Grande Valley. I know you know that. That's where water is. Everywhere else is a problem. But there is some fixing that has to be done and matters of catchment. And so while we work through it, there...
Black I don't know them say Varsland and them don't live there. I don't know. I don't know.
Is a drought across Jamaica in some parishes. So the people need to know that. For me, water is major because I live there and it's very frustrating not to have the water. What I will say though is if you are, this is public knowledge, if you are a paying customer with NWC, you can call them and it is your right to have them truck water to you. Not like how the MP used to sell it, but at a reasonable cost so that your tanks can be filled and it can happen maybe at least once a week. But so I'm putting that out there to say that if you are a paying customer and you're attached to the National Water Commission line, then they have an obligation to provide water to you, which they do for some of the schools and some of the institutions.
The only thing I would add to that, though, MP, what I'd add to that is that if you are a paying customer and they chuck the water to you, I don't think you're supposed to pay for it. I think you should sign and that should come with your billing.
Not right, but the reasonable cost that you need to know is that it reflects similar to your water bill.
Right.
So that's what reasonable is in light of the fact that you have water trucks charging $30,000 and these kind of money. Yeah. So that's what I mean by reasonable. No. But that is so.
No, this has been a reoccurring thing though, MP. Once we have a drought with all the water that we have in Portland, Draper's Heights, they call a while ago that they don't have no water up at Draper's Heights and they have not seen their garbage collect in a couple of weeks as well.
Yes.
What though are the plans for water going forward? Because we have to do something about water in this parish. We have water, we have to sort out. What are the plans?
I'm glad you say that, but it's not. We already have started in terms of knowing that what we call
Black, big up yourself. They all learn to hear.
Low-hanging fruit is the ability to fix the pipes and changing them out, working in tandem with fixing some of the roads. There's an assumption that all roads are fixed, but on my schedule, certainly, the roads that I intend to fix, I work together with Water Commission to dig up those areas and fix the pipes so they don't have to go in again. Apart from that, I will say Ferry Hill is in a unique position because it's not just water, but the water when we do get it is salty.
Quality, yes.
So there has to be a contingency plan to ensure that the catchment is fixed.
Have they told you
anything about? We are working on that.
Have they told you?
I will be advocating and talking to Matthew Samuda, making my grouse heard because, like I said, that is where I live more than anything. So if they say he who feels it knows it, I am aware. And the tanks run out faster than you think when water not come in your pipe for a week, 8, 10 days. It's just really bad.
Have you heard anything about a new well for Ferry Hill?
There is talks about it. Whether or not we're going to get the funding because I am in opposition is another thing. But I will have means and ways to ensure that right when we're there, we're going to have something done.
All right. Now, there are a couple of things that were happening before. The Sparks program, the Reach program. Have you been updated yet on those programs to know what next for those programs?
What I will say to you is that waiting on Nesta Morgan to give updates as to where the funding for the programs that have been, the roles that have been selected and when the start date and end date for some of those. So that is the update, is that those monies aren't dispersed as yet.
What is the update on the... No, I should even ask you if you get it yet, because people, let me just remind you that it's not 1 month yet since he won the election. It's even way further from a month since he has been sworn in as the member of parliament. Right. So I need to ask the question this way. Have you been updated on the proposed bypass yet?
No. The proposed bypass comes with a whole lot of complications. There are land issues that I need updates on, especially as it relates to private property and whether or not the drawings are accurate and where it will start and where it will end. So there's no to that. I've met with CDF.
Yes.
And I can tell you there is $0 left in the education fund.
So they have depleted the CDF for 2025?
It has been depleted to the extent that there's not much that can be done. Let me say that.
So the CDF done until what, the next financial year?
Which is March, but it's not accurate to say it's done. There are stuff that I'm in the process of calculating to ensure what the exact amount is and what can be done with it. But the education fund, which you know I'm big on education, that has completely been depleted.
Sorry about that, MP. Continue.
No, yeah, so I'm just making that clear.
Alright, I just got a question that came in. People, you would have heard there was voice note that was going around just after the victory. They might take out pump and they might do this with water. And have you done anything, reported it to the police, hear anything officially about it?
You know, I will tell you this. I know who the person was. I know where the person worked. I know all of that. I will just chalk it up to somebody having an emotional attack because their side didn't win. Having done all the work that they never did. The matter was reported. It was investigated. Having met with Water Commission, the pump in question, there was an electrical problem that had nothing to do with what he was saying. So the loss of water in spaces has nothing to do with that voice note. What was more important in the voice note is the approach to try to sabotage and the approach to try to make sure that the Portlanders are suffering so that I can look bad. While it is that these things will happen, you know, as it is, we just have to continue to put in the work, advocate, and keep our eyes open and our ears open to ensure that people aren't destroying Portland so that people can say work is not being done, because that is counterproductive to the progress of Portland.
As the former MP.
So hold on there, Isaac. You know it's who say it. It has been reported. And that person hasn't been locked up. The man say him go bomb, pipe bomb the place. If that is not intention of terrorist activity, I don't know what is. That person should be locked up. If you can lock up mama's son, for say, if mama love for say, if PMP lose, what am I gonna do and what am I gonna shoot up? Then shoot up and bomb up, which one worse? So if you know who the police, they know who to say, then they lock him up. What the hell are going on in Jamaica? No, sir.
Called you to congratulate you or anything of the sort since your victory?
No such thing. In fact, the last time I've ever spoken to that MP was on Long Road when she rode into that shop and I told her I was going to beat her. And then she said, Shaka, when you talk to him, I can't believe you're there with him.
So you haven't spoken to her since?
No, what would be the point? I don't usually have. Anyway, let me leave that one alone.
Please do.
Please do. No. Please leave it alone, Isaac.
There are other projects that are taking place in the constituency, and a lot of people have been asking. What about the urban center? Any update on that?
Yes, man. Met with Czech, met with Factories Corporation, met with the investors. I'm fully abreast of
people. When I go up on Colin Bell show, I'm tired. When I go up on Colin Bell show, yeah? All listeners to that. I gotta go get ready and move. Gets the moving. I gotta detox off the internet. Alright? Appreciate y'all. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Even those I disagree with. Thank you for sharing the time. I'm not gonna block nobody, but I will be timing y'all asses out when y'all get on my nerves. Anytime I start talking, which is my time, I'm not blocking them. I'm going to some 86 games. See you tomorrow, man. See y'all tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? You can comment tomorrow. I can't do it. I can't. What the government is doing to us, the people of Jamaica, really bothers me. Genuinely, it bothers me. It's not happening to me directly, but I care about my people. You get me? Yes, so big up on yourself. I'm out. Peace, yeah? One love. The word is done.